for them is they need to stay calm. They need to look to today and not look till Tuesday in Tampa or Minnesota. The Blue Jays need to win this game. They can't have Kevin Gausman throw tomorrow and potentially lose him until Thursday or even for this whole first-round playoff series. The Blue Jays need to win this game. The first sign of struggle from Hyun-Jin Ryu, and that bullpen will be moving around.
It is a fresh bullpen. The Blue Jays can pitch for leverage, and as early as John Schneider and Pete Walker need to pitch into leverage if it gets to that point. Certainly the Blue Jays want to have a couple of things happen. Win today and then alleviate any consideration for Kevin Gausman pitching in 162 and line up the Toronto #1 starter for a matchup against whoever it is in the postseason on Tuesday night in round 1 of the American League Wild Card.
The Blue Jays have to win this game. They have to hit like they did yesterday. They have to pitch. To me, this is a do-or-die game. If you don't have Kevin Gausman throwing that first game, your chances of winning that first-round series are slashed. Hyun-Jin Ryu cannot pitch in that first-round series. It has to be Kevin Gausman.
Well, it might be Gausman. You might ask him to come back on short rest, too, but these are scenarios certainly want to ask anybody for the first time to do it when it matters the most, and Gausman would be doing it then in a do-or-die Game 3 of the AL Wild Card. Let's quickly look at the Bet365 standings. Download the Bet365 app. Check out the latest odds for today's baseball games. 19+, play responsibly, Ontario only. There is a chance that all 5 spots that are open currently for the postseason could still be open on Sunday morning. I mean, that's how crazy this frantic finish to the regular season could become. Especially, you could see a 4-team tie in the American League. We'll spell out the scenarios as the day goes on. Junior Caminero gets the leadoff assignment for Kevin Cash today and the Tampa Bay Rays. Caminero offers at the first pitch, and it's strike 1. Caminero, just 22 years old, 4 for 23 in the majors. A double for his only extra base hit, and he's driven in 4. Right-handed batter, pulls one wide at third, ranging to his left. Deep in the hole, Chapman's got it on to first in time, and there's one down. Ask manager Kevin Cash why Caminero in that leadoff spot today when you've got Yandy Diaz trying to zero in and become the first Tampa Bay Ray ever to win a batting title. A little bit of it is keeping Yandy Diaz fresh. He's recently returned from a little bit of a leg issue, but also they need to see more from Caminero. Here's Randy Arozarena. Swings and pulls the first pitch foul for strike 1. Randy Arozarena has had his struggles, missed the last series against the Blue Jays, out because of health. Playing in left field today, hitting .255 on the season and 23 home runs. Out of the line, the 0-1. Fastball on the inside corner, a called strike, and it's 0-2. After Arozarena, Harold Ramirez bats third. Isaac Paredes, with 31 home runs, bats cleanup today. Ryu out of the line with the 0-2. In the air out to right field, pushing Biggio back out the wall. He turns around, and it's off the top of the fence. Hits right in front of the opening, in front of the bullpen of Tampa Bay, above the padded wall. A soft rebound played by Biggio, and Arozarena trots into second with a double.
And that actually wasn't a bad pitch from Hyun-Jin Ryu. It was a changeup on the outer part of the plate, but Arozarena is so strong, just sticks his bat out and hits that ball off the wall in right field.
Oh, so close by about a yard to the right. That ball goes out. Thankfully, it hits the high wall slightly to the left of the bullpen gate. Harold Ramirez gets a fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Rest of Kevin Cash in the 97-win Rays lineup. Caminero, Arozarena, who's at second. Harold Ramirez at the plate. Isaac Paredes, then Curtis Mead, and Josh Lowe making his first appearance in the series. 0-1. Hit hard through the left side, a base hit. Charging forward, Varsho scoops it up, plays it back in quickly. Station to station for Arozarena, and the Rays have runners at first and third, and 1 out. After Curtis Mead, Josh Lowe, Manuel Margot, Christian Bethencourt, and Taylor Walls rounding out the order. Kevin Cash said he's going to approach this a number of different ways. 1, he wants to play the game right, whoever is in the lineup. And 2, make sure his club gets the rest that's necessary before what he expects to be a long month for Tampa Bay. And then just let the game play out. Certainly not rolling over in their stop here in Toronto. Quick move over to first by Ryu. Lunging back goes Ramirez. And a dash down the line by Arozarena. He raises two fingers, points at his eyes, and then points at Ryu. Said, I'm watching you. I know what's going on here. Arozarena halfway down the line. Ryu deals to Paredes. Swinging a soft liner into center field, a base hit. Arozarena trots across on an RBI single from Isaac Paredes. He drives in his 98th of the season, and Tampa Bay is struck in the first. It's 1-0 Rays.
And this is what you can't let happen. You can't let Tampa Bay string together hits. I know it's early. I think John Schneider would probably be happy with 4 innings from Hyun-Jin Ryu, but if you see more of this, that bullpen needs to get going. You have to treat this game like a playoff game. You have to shorten the game, bring in the bullpen in the second, third inning if you have to, and really shorten that game and play it like it's a 1-run ball game at all times.
First and second, 1 out. Curtis Mead, the rookie, gets a fastball, strike 1. Mead went 1 for 4 last night in the series opener. A .349 on base. Right-handed batter, feet shoulder width apart. Slightly open. The 0-1. Out of play up the right side. No balls and 2 strikes. So much on the line with 2 games remaining in the regular season. This is game 161. The West will have a wild finish. Every team in the Western Division could win the division, clinch a wild card berth, or miss the playoffs completely. A swing and a miss by Mead. He's down on strikes. 2 away. 3 teams in the West. Astros, Rangers, and Mariners factor into A, B, and C. Win a division, hang a banner, get to the wild card, or miss the playoffs. It's incredible. There's Josh Lowe, lefty on lefty, takes inside, ball 1. 7 of the 12 postseason spots have been clinched. 5 others remain. All of them could be determined by the end of the day. Blue Jays, of course, we keep talking about this. The magic number is 1. Either a win or a Mariners loss. The 1-0 popped up. Foul ground, third base side, next to the line. Chapman is there to make the play. Retiring Lowe and the Rays. Ryu minimizes the damage, but the Blue Jays start trailing 1-0. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Want to be certain your reno goes right? Start with Pro Materials with CertainTeed Drywall. In fire resistant, water resistant, super durable.
Proven winners Color Choice shrubs are the landscaping plants that have been trialed and tested by expert horticulturists to ensure your success. Whether you're looking for the hottest hydrangea, a reblooming rose, or an elegant evergreen, you can count on the shrubs in the white containers for easy care curb appeal for years to come. There's still plenty of time to improve your landscape this season, so head to your favorite local garden center and ask for Proven Winners Color Choice flowering shrubs.
What's going on, world? Kevin Hart here. I'm at Benny's. Let me tell you something. I'm from Philadelphia, but I love Chicago. I also love Benny's Beverage Depot. The selection is what I would call a showstopper. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
A bet while the game's still being played. Seriously, you can bet on things like puck line, the money line, total hits, touchdowns, the next goal scorer, fight outcome. Download the app now and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
Only a handful of first basemen are as graceful as Vladdy. Should we get the man in audition for Swan Lake? The Toronto Blue Jays play here on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays coming up in the first inning, being brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com for more. 1-0 Tampa Bay. George Springer, Kevin Biggio, who's batting second today, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up here in the first against Sean Armstrong. 39th appearance overall. He's made a couple of starts. He's made a lot of bullpen appearances. The right-hander's task is Springer to open it up. And his first pitch is a fastball down and away. Ball 1. Springer 0 for 4 last night. 21 home runs, 71 driven in. 1-0. Takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Rest of the lineup after the 3 here in the first. Bo Bichette back in the cleanup spot. Alejandro Kirk and Kevin Kiermaier in the meat of the order. Matt Chapman, Whit Merrifield, and Dalton Varsho. 7, 8, 9. 2-0. That's over for a cold strike. Hit the outside edge at 95 miles an hour, and it's 2-1 on Springer. Blue Jays sitting at 89 wins on the season. The 2-1. Ground ball off the top of the mound, ranging to the shortstop side. Meade on the backhand from second. Throws out Springer at first, and there's 1 down. Blue Jays, for just the second time in franchise history, trying to weave together 3 consecutive 90 or more win seasons. In 91, 92, and 93, the Blue Jays had a regular season finish with 90 or more wins. Last year, the campaign racked up with 92 victories, and in 2021, falling a game out of the playoffs where the Blue Jays won 91. Here's Cavan. Fastball inside from the right-hander, and it's 1-0. Biggio, part of the route last night where the Blue Jays won 11-4 over Tampa Bay. Went 2 for 4, driving in a couple. 1-0. Inside. 2 balls and no strikes. One of those netted a 3-base error and turned into a chaotic moment for Manuel Margot in center field when he misplayed the base hit from Biggio and then just watched the ball roll behind him. The 2-0. Inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Biggio. Affectionately known as the Little League home run, where a base hit turns into the batter going all the way around the bases. .3-0. No green light, a strike on the outside corner. And it's 3-1 on Biggio. Understated in that play, it was a low line drive right up the middle, was the read that Bo Bichette had. Breaking away from first. 3-1. Inside corner with a good fastball at 96. And it's 3-2 on Biggio. That was a little lower on the card last night. He's ratcheted up with no Brandon Belt. We had back-to-back starts in that number 2 spot. Biggio occupies it today. 3-2. Chopped off foul at the plate. Cavan has done this before, including twice batting in that number 2 spot when the Blue Jays were in Colorado. John Schneider asked about Brandon Belt when we were talking about making out the lineup today. Blue Jays manager said it's a little bit of management. You had the night game followed by a day game. Belt coming off the injured list, getting back-to-back starts. He is healthy. We checked in with Brandon in the clubhouse earlier today. He's fine. The 3-2. Fouled back. There is some management still with that creaky back that he's been nursing for the majority of the year. He's gotten some in-game treatment on it with the big wrap that goes around his lower back, and he's not alone. Other guys have used it as well. Kevin Kiermaier's used it over the course of the year. We see Vladdy wearing it too down in the dugout, so this isn't a surprise. 3-2. Down and in, ball 4. Blue Jays have a 1-out base runner courtesy of the walk.
And those are the kind of at-bats that a 2-hole hitter needs to have. He just saw 9 pitches early on in this ball game. He's making Armstrong work. He's letting Vlad see how Armstrong throws. Sure, he might be a prototypical 7-hole hitter, but he is a good 2-hole hitter.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Revved up, takes a fastball over for a called strike 1. Vladdy had a big day at the plate. The guy that's in the cleanup spot today had a big day at the plate. Going a combined 7 for 9 between the 3 and 4 batters with Guerrero and Bichette. Biggio draws the throw over to first. You mentioned Cavan Biggio being a number 2 hitter, and his patience at the plate, always had a very patient eye. That's another reason why Brandon Belt is the number 2 hitter with a little bit more pop potential in the number 2 spot. But Kevin slots right in there. 0-1. Guerrero check swing at the slider, takes it low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vladdy goes 3 for 4 last night, blistered a couple of balls on hard line drives. And since returning to the lineup frequently off of his knee scare, he's 8 for his last 26. 1-1. Guerrero with a check swing. That pitch is called low, maybe a little bit outside. The Armstrong cutter missed the strike box on Sportsnet TV.
That's a tough pitch, and when Vlad wasn't going right, he might have swung at that, swung and missed, or he might have rolled over. So you can tell he's going well right now because he's not swinging at that pitch.
2-1. Fastball over for a called strike. Evens the count at 2. Outfield lined up straight away. Arozarena, Margot, and Ramirez. Left, center, and right. Runner held at first. 2-2. Fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Guerrero. Junior Caminero gets a rare assignment at third base. He's deep off the line. Taylor Walls, a very speedy, very sure-handed shortstop in the middle of the diamond with Curtis Mead. Isak Paredes fighting the glare of the sunshine right in his eyes, tending to the lead of Biggio at first. 2-2 to Guerrero. Outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He looks pretty comfortable in that batter's box right now.
He really does, doesn't he?
He's not jumpy. He's laying off those tough pitches. And most importantly, that swing path is through the zone.
Runner goes 3-2. Guerrero takes in tight. That's ball 4. Armstrong trying to pick the corners has lost back-to-back Blue Jays. 1-out walk to Biggio, followed by a battle with Guerrero. That puts runners on at first and second. And another reason why John Schneider jostled his lineup to give Bo Bichette an RBI opportunity. And here it is with 1 down. We're inside the Timber Mart broadcast booth here this afternoon. Kyle Snyder will make his first of many mound visits here today. What Kyle Snyder is doing is giving the Blue Jay fans a chance to rev up. Energy carrying from one night to the next day.
Do you think this energy is nervous energy, or is it excitement?
Yes.
I think everybody here knows what's at stake. You look online, you look at fan graphs, there's a 94.8% chance, but it doesn't really feel that way. It feels like these games are must win.
I think there has been so much of expectation built through this season. Now you're seeing a very narrow opening for the Blue Jays. Final 2 games, still a magic number existing. Mound visit done. Bichette, who had 4 hits last night, stares out at the right-hander. Swings and he drives the ball to right center field, but it'll hang up for Ramirez. He makes the catch. Line the opposite way. Ramirez, a couple of slide steps to his right. Bichette retired and they're 2 down.
I don't hate Bo swinging first pitch there. He knows that Armstrong's trying to throw a strike. He knows he's going to come with a fat one right down the middle, and he was just a little bit behind it.
Cooper Criswell, by the way, is loosening in the bullpen. Just up from AAA Durham today. Alejandro Kirk takes a fastball called strike 1. Aaron Civale got the start yesterday for Tampa Bay, went 1 time through the order. He departed in his final appearance of the regular season. Armstrong looks back at second. Should be a short assignment for him today. Kirk gets a slider that missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alejandro. Yesterday, Kirky hit a solo home run and then had a 2-run base hit, driving in 3 of the 11 runs Toronto scored. 1-1. Ground ball in the middle of the diamond. Wall shuffles to his left, picks it up jogs to second to get the fielder's choice on the force out that retires the Blue Jays. A couple of walks, couldn't do anything with it. 1-0 Tampa Bay as we go to the second. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We can't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We'll never be faster than a speeding locomotive. But when it comes to getting you the best electronics at the best prices, we'll be your hero. The Super Sale on now at Visions Electronics.
Proven winners Color Choice shrubs are the landscaping plants that have been trialed and tested by expert horticulturists to ensure your success. Whether you're looking for the hottest hydrangea, a reblooming rose, or an elegant evergreen, you can count on the shrubs in the white containers for easy care curb appeal for years to come. There's still plenty of time to improve your landscape this season, so head to your favorite local garden center and ask for Proven Winners Color Choice flowering shrubs.
Codenamed Safe Trip. Nissan Pathfinder comes with standard Safety Shield 360, including intelligent emergency braking, lane departure warning, and blind spot warning, helping you master next-level traffic with elite confidence.
Your next Nissan is in stock and ready to roll. Finance the 2024 Pathfinder from 5.99% for 60 months. Inventory available now. SV for 1,020 monthly with 0 down. Conditions apply.
The 20 times the points event is back at Shoppers Drug Mart, and it's how Sarah piles on the points.
I just opened my PC Optimum app to load my 20 times the points offer, shop for stuff like cosmetics and my essentials, and I get 30% back in points. And the more points I earn, the more free stuff I can get.
Nice, Sarah. The 20 times the points event runs September 29th to 30th. In-store only, exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart. Remember, more points equals more free stuff, and free feels good. Restrictions apply. Details in app.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Responsible, Ontario only. Hyunjin Ryu trails 1-0. Lefty's first pitch on the outside corner with a cut fastball to Manuel Margot for strike one. 6 men came to the plate for Tampa Bay. 3 straight base hits, a 1-0 lead. 0-1 to Margot is lobbed out of play beyond the first base dugout. No balls and 2 strikes on the Rays center fielder. Had a couple of blunders on the other side of the baseball last night. 0-2, up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Really speedy, can play center field, certainly. You know that he can do that, but had an off night. 1-2. Line towards center field. Kiermaier pulls up, has to play it on a short hop. Solid single for Margot. He's aboard for the second time in the series with a base hit.
And Hyunjin Ryu is not missing many barrels. I know John Schneider can see that from that dugout. If I was Schneider, I'd be thinking about calling down to that bullpen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he's shoulder to shoulder right now with Pete Walker, the pitching coach, who's examining a couple of his charts, turning a couple of pages, looking at the projections. Christian Bethencourt, the batter. Catcher takes outside, ball 1. Rays 1, Blue Jays nothing. Just underway in the second inning. Certainly the Blue Jays were hoping to give Hyunjin Ryu the exit that he deserves on the final year and likely the final appearance of his 4-year contract. Ground ball out to shortstop. Bichette beats Merrifield for 1. A quick turn to first, not in time. That ball was slow developing on its long hops out to Bo Bichette. Margot's speedy race. The catcher stands at first with 1 down.
Yeah, the crowd doesn't like that call at first base, but he was clearly safe by about 3 steps.
Keeps the double play in order for Taylor Walsh. December of 2019, the Blue Jays really made their first big free agent splash under Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins when they struck a deal for Hyunjin Ryu. A 4-year contract at $20 million each. Pitch to Walls. Fouled away at the plate. That's strike 1. Of course, 2020 was completely shelved with the arrival of the global pandemic, a shortened baseball season that turned out to be very nomadic for the Blue Jays. But Hyunjin Ryu was a mainstay and a reason the Blue Jays won that challenging schedule and made it to the postseason against the Rays. Walls with a liner to center field. He's retired by Kiermaier, and there are 2 out. That was also the trend that the Blue Jays started to lean into, going after a big free agent in the offseason in a given year. And the sign of things to come from present day, like Chris Bassett, Kevin Gausman, Yusei Kikuchi factors into that. Pitch up and away on Junior Caminero, ball 1. George Springer and his free agent deal from a position player standpoint, all trying to build around what was internal assets and a core that had already started to make their own splash in the big leagues. 1-0. On the outside corner, called strike, and it's 1-1. Runner at first. 2 down. Ryu to the plate. Caminero takes inside, and it's 2-1. I asked manager John Schneider about what he reflects on with Ryu and his time as a Blue Jay. And he said, he made an impact to everybody in the clubhouse in a unique way. The 2-1 down and away, 3 balls and 1 strike as the changeup misses poorly. He said he made an impact on the pitchers, about routine, about preparation, talking pitching, helping the catchers prepare. The 3-1. On the outside corner across the knees, and it's 3-2. And Danny Jansen became his personal caddy, essentially, over the course of the contract with Ryu. Today, Alejandro Kirk, who started to make his way into Major League life during that same season, has been a student along with the left-hander and catches him today. 3-2. Popped up over the mound, out near second. Bare hand shades the eyes of Merrifield. He's there, makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, a base hit, and a man left. Midway through the second, 1-0 Tampa Bay. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
With the price of a new vehicle, I'm not buying one anytime soon.
Have you decided to keep your vehicle longer? With rising prices and reduced inventory, you're not the only one. Crown is here to help. Our annual Rust.
Proven Winners Color Choice shrubs are the landscaping plants that have been trialed and tested by expert horticulturists to ensure your success. Whether you're looking for the hottest hydrangea, a reblooming rose, or an elegant evergreen, you can count on the shrubs in the white containers for easy care curb appeal for years to come. There's still plenty of time to improve your landscape this season, so head to your favorite local garden center and ask for Proven Winners Color Choice flowering shrubs.
A recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC. And you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timbermart, Canada's building center.
Hey, this is Dalton Varsho. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Lots of the second inning here outdoors at Rogers Center. Spectacular Saturday afternoon. Just beautiful conditions as the Blue Jays come to the plate for the second time, trailing 1-0. Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Chapman, and Whit Merrifield. Batting ninth today, Dalton Varsho. This is a brand new spot for Kevin Kiermaier. In the number 6 spot, one of the more frequently changing positions in the Blue Jays batting order. Second only to the 15 different players that had batted 8th in this number 6 spot. Kevin Kiermaier is the 13th different person John Schneider's inked in. Kiermaier against the right-hander. Armstrong hit the outside corner with a changeup for strike 1. The pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know what? My apologies. That's Cooper Criswell who's aboard. 1 and done for Armstrong. 1-1. Tapper to the right of the mound. Criswell lunges out, has it, Underhand feed over to first, and Kiermaier is retired.
Up batting, number 26, Matt Chapman.
That is today's future announcer, presented by Rogers, joining us from Timsford, Ontario. Carter is 8 years old and very enthused that Matt Chapman has homered in back-to-back games. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up on the right side of the diamond. Underneath it, Paredes, the second baseman, calls away the first baseman. Meade retires Chapman, and another quick cameo for Carter.
Now batting, number 15, Whit Merrifield.
You know what? Carter's finding a groove. I don't think he wants to leave the air chair.
Well, it might be a quick inning.
Here's Whit Merrifield. Takes the first pitch across the knees for strike one. Carter is 8 years of age. Joining us here at the ballpark in downtown Toronto, just outside of London, Ontario. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. A little northeast of London, where Timsford is Carter's home. Rays 1, Blue Jays nothing. Merrifield asked for time after falling in the hole. 0-2. Not in the lineup last night. 11 home runs and 67 driven in. 0-2. Outside from Criswell. Erasmo Ramirez was designated for assignment and then thanked for his services yesterday for being the mop-up man. The 1-2, down and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rays did exactly what they wanted to do from a couple of the relievers that appeared in that ballgame, including Taj Bradley. The 2-2. That's pulled towards third and foul. Kevin Nero made a play on it next to the coach's box, but a foul ball on Merrifield. Bradley was working in the rotation for the Rays down the stretch. Kevin Cash wanted to get him at least one ramp up as a member of the bullpen as they start to really calculate and narrow down their decisions for the Rays, who will own the #1 wild card spot. 2-2. Down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff. Witt rolls it off the fist and just foul outside first. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Merrifield. We're inside the Timber Mart broadcast booth this afternoon. We'll be right back here tomorrow with a little bit of a tweak in the scheduled first pitch. Not your traditional 137s. 3-2. Fouled away at the plate. The bat continues with Merrifield and Criswell. Major League Baseball wants everybody to hit the launch button at the same time and do a lot of scoreboard watching along the way. With the regular season finale tomorrow in the Eastern time zone, everybody gets started at 3. 3-2. Bounce towards third base, waiting on it. Camanero's got it. Sidearm sling to first in time. That retires Witt, and the Blue Jays done 1-2-3. Off to the third, 1-0 Tampa Bay. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When a lion's hungry, he eats.
We enter every battle with one goal in mind.
This is a special place in the postseason.
This October, be at Rogers Center. Witness this team and experience next level loud. Lock in the
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Proven Winners Color Choice shrubs are the landscaping plants that have been trialed and tested by expert horticulturists to ensure your success. Whether you're looking for the hottest hydrangea, a reblooming rose, or an elegant evergreen, you can count on the shrubs in the white containers for easy care curb appeal for years to come. There's still plenty of time to improve your landscape this season, so head to your favorite local garden center and ask for Proven Winners Color Choice flowering shrubs.
The best part, Bet365 is now available in Ontario. Download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's #1.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
George Costanza, too conceited. George Clooney, too dreamy. George Springer, now that's the right amount of George. Your Toronto Blue Jays play on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Randy Arozarena had a one-out double in the first inning, came around to score, and the reason it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. We go to the third inning here at Rogers Center as Ryu rocks into the windup and his pitch. Arozarena takes up and out, ball 1. Third inning is being brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. While the Blue Jays push for the postseason, make sure you're prepping for cold weather with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today at crown.com or find the location nearest you. Strike from Ryu. Or is that called low? Maybe the bellow from Alfonso Marquez was low. So it's 2-0. Right back into the line. The pitch. That's high. 3 balls and no strikes. Ryu rocking back and forth. Picks up the target from Kirk. The 3-0. Arozarena gets one right down the chute. A called strike. And it's 3-1. It's a very special day across Canada and here at the ballpark. And specifically with initiatives involving the Toronto Blue Jays and the Jays Care Foundation. Robert Witchell is the president of the Jays Care Foundation. He's in the broadcast booth with us here this afternoon. Robert, great to see you again.
Thank you, Ben. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. The 3-1. Swing and a miss by Arozarena, 3-2. The bad news is we need to have you here for the bottom half of the inning, too, because you're always good for a couple of runs. So
I do what I can to,
at this point,
to help
Robert, we need you. We need you bad.
1-0 Tampa Bay, 3-2. On a line to right field, Biggio strolls in, makes the catch. Arozarena retired. We mentioned it's a very special day here at the ballpark. National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Tell us why this day is important for the Jays Care Foundation and for the Toronto Blue Jays to be involved.
Well, today is all about reconciliation, all about honoring the children who didn't come home from residential schools and their survivors and their families.
Harold Ramirez takes up and away, ball 1.
150,000 kids, Indigenous kids, were taken from their families and had to attend residential schools, and it's a bit of a blot on our country.
Ramirez slams it out of play off to the right quickly, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
So today we had a lot going on. We had a woman from the Algonquins of Ontario, Chantal Larocque, sang
1-1, lined over Vladdy's head, a base hit into right field.
She sang the national anthem in French, English, and in her native tongue, the Algonquin. We donated $150,000 to 13 different survivor-serving organizations that work with survivors and help them with their healing. At our garage sale today, all the proceeds are going to Indigenous programs, and all the staff here are wearing orange shirts that were designed by a woman by the name of Montana Adams.
Isak Paredes gets a strike on the outside corner.
And we worked with the Survivor Secretariat to put her artwork on hundreds and hundreds of orange shirts that the staff are wearing across the ballpark today.
Runner at first, the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This is not just a day that comes to fruition with a couple of invitations and a check donated. What goes on the other 364 days? 1-1. Paredes gets the breaking ball in for a called strike.
Well, Jays Care is really honored to work with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people all across Turtle Island. We have 62 First Nations in 10 different Indigenous Rookie League programs, which is a program.
Paredes takes low.
Using baseball to, that program uses baseball to promote healing, to try and heal intergenerational trauma. And next year we're hoping to move from 10 partners and 62 First Nations to over 15 partners.
And that's across the country. Anybody in Canada.
That's correct.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Paredes. He swings and he pulls it foul into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the batter. 1-0 Tampa Bay. We're in the third. Robert Witchell, the president of the Jace Care Foundation, in the broadcast booth with us here this afternoon. Runner at first, Ryu to the plate. And it's tapped to foul again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So we're working with over 7,000 Indigenous youth in Canada. We have programming, not just the Indigenous Rookie League program, but a number of different types of programs depending on what our partners identify as the issues that they're facing in their communities. And we committed over $2.5 million this year to that programming, and we hope to expand that next year. But reconciliation for Canadians, it's very important. It's about learning about the history.
2-2, lined into left field, a base hit. Station to station for Ramirez. Isaac Paredes is 2 for 2. 2 on and 1 out.
So the Blue Jays, a great organization that recognizes how important reconciliation is, and at any sort of opportunity we get, we're trying to raise awareness. All the staff every year get training to learn a little bit more every year. This year we had staff get some training from the Indian Residential Schools Survivor Society, and everyone was welcome to join that.
Curtis Mead takes down an in-ball 1.
And we had 4 chiefs here from Saskatchewan, from the Touchwood Agency Tribal Council. That's just northeast of Regina, and 4 chiefs honored us with their presence today.
1-0 is low from the lefty. 2 balls and no strikes on Mead.
I don't know if you caught the opening pitch.
I did.
It was some heat there. Chief Wolf.
One I watched, and then everybody joined in unison and said, "Whoa!"
I don't know. I didn't ask him, but he must have played.
The 2-0 is called low. 3 balls and no strikes. He either played or he's been practicing.
He said he hadn't played for 2 years, so I don't know about practicing, but I threw a couple with him on the sidelines there, and he almost broke my hand.
So
I didn't have my glove.
Needless to say, his shoulder is aching right now after not playing for 2 years.
3-0 strike on the inside corner.
But Chief Wolf, he's from Muskowgan First Nation. We had Chief Lloyd Buffalo from Daystar First Nation. Chief Leanne Keller and Chief Byron Bitternose were also here today.
3-1. Mead bounds it foul behind his third base coach, and it's 3-2. They were representing number of people that are here at the ballpark today. Give me a ballpark, if you will. How many people are you hosting?
Oh, wow. They're well over, I think, 150 people here from different First Nations enjoying the game, but also, I think...
Mead with a line drive out to right field. Biggio leaps into the air and stays with the play to make the catch. That ball started to take off on the Toronto right fielder. Biggio, and all of his utility needs, out in right field getting the start today, and he pulls it down. Keeps it 1-0.
And again, Hyun-Jin Ryu not missing many barrels. He hasn't really given up the big hit yet, but I think John Schneider notices the barrel, and Trevor Richards is warming up in that bullpen.
Yeah, started to stir the bullpen after the hit by Paredes. Runners at first and second. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Josh Lowe, dangerous left-handed hitter, swings and fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. It is such a heavy day. It is such an enormous thing to consume, to talk about, to discuss. It was nice to see a lot of smiles circling around the overall topic of the day and why this is important. Lowe rips it up the right field line, a screamer towards the wall, and it short hops the fence. Down for a base hit. Ramirez is in to score. Paredes goes to third on an RBI double from Josh Lowe, and it's 2-0 Tampa Bay here in the third inning.
Yeah, Hyun-Jin Ryu just shaking his head. It was a breaking ball. It was right down the middle, and Josh Lowe did not miss it. Hit it off the wall in right field. And here comes Pete Walker.
Pete Walker, the Blue Jays pitching coach, on his way to the hill. 1 run into the first, 1 run in here in the third. 2-0 Tampa Bay. 2 down, runners at second and third for the Rays. If somebody is listening, and when we were visiting with a number of these representatives on the field, they said, oh, you're the guy from the radio. I said, yeah, that's me. I'm the guy. So a lot of Blue Jay fans in the indigenous community kind of tracking Blue Jays baseball and unsuspecting to myself how much Blue Jay baseball becomes their entertainment as well. So listening in these communities right now, and you talk about the programs that are available, how can people within these community reach out to Jays Care and find out what are the resources available for them?
We have a senior manager in charge of all our Indigenous programming. They can send us an email, look online, see what the types of programs that are available.
Manuel Margot lobs the first pitch he sees out to left field. Underneath it, Varsho. He's there, makes the play, and that retires the side. Rays leave a couple in scoring position. Do tally up here in the third. After 2.5, it's Tampa Bay 2, Toronto nothing. More with Robert Witchell and the Jays Care Foundation right after this with Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Toyota, we believe your vehicle is more than just your ride. It's your trusty sidekick. So make sure it's ready to go, because there's a 100% chance of winter this winter. And you can take those odds to the bank, not the snowbank. Trust the experts at Toyota for premium winter tires, batteries, brakes, and more. Beat the winter rush and book an appointment today. Visit shoptoyota.ca or contact your local Toyota dealer.
When Ottawa's proposed electricity regulations make electricity unreliable, the things you rely on won't work when needed. Your hot water, computer, washer and dryer, electric car, TV, lights, mobile phone, stove, your heat in -30. Visit tellthefeds.ca to learn why Canada's power grid will be unreliable. And tell the feds, reliable and affordable electricity matters. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Beth is about to make the most important decision of her life. She either goes for Subway's warm and delicious classic meatball and keeps things the same, or she chooses the meatballer and enters a world of chef-crafted deliciousness.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
0-1. Breaking ball wrapped around the outside edge, misses down and low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. President of the Jays Care Foundation, Robert Witchell, is in the broadcast booth with us. The 1-1. Varsho slams one high, deep, and the Blue Jays are on the board. Another big blast from Dalton Varsho. His second home run in 3 days. And the Blue Jays have cut the Rays' lead in half on a second deck shot from Dalton Varsho.
And again, we talked about it a lot last night, but for this Blue Jays team to be successful in October, you need to get clutch hitting from guys that haven't done much all year. Dalton Varsho, Kevin Biggio, Matt Chapman, all those guys are getting hot at the right moment.
Now Springer shoots one on a line out to right field. And he's retired by Ramirez.
And just like that, you can feel the buzz again. Just one run will do that to this crowd.
That was a blast. A WestJet home run. Brought to you by WestJet. No plans this weekend. We've got a flight for that. Book your flight across Canada at WestJet.com. WestJet, proud to be the official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays. Kevin Biggio, the left-handed batter, takes downstairs. That's ball 1 on Kevin. We told Robert he had to stick around because he's good for offense. The man delivers again.
You were not wrong.
One up, fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1 Tampa Bay.
I will sit here every game if you invite me.
I don't think that's possible. You're a busy man.
Well, you've got the best seats in the house.
The 1-1 outside from Criswell. 2 balls and 1 strike. We're talking about how important this day is for the Jays Care Foundation, the Toronto Blue Jays, and their involvement with Truth and Reconciliation. Swing and a miss by Biggio, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. There are a number of representatives in the ballpark today from indigenous communities. 2-2 sinks low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I was introduced to a number of those reps behind the plate earlier today from Sioux Lookout. We're really excited to be here. 3-2 outside, ball 4. Cavan's aboard for the second time, and the Blue Jays have the tying run at first.
Buck is actually even a bigger celebrity out there because he goes up there, has been up there quite a few times to go fishing, and it's a small community, and you know, somebody knew somebody who took Buck out fishing, and there was a story about this guy being in his underwear, pulling the boat up on shore for a shore lunch, and Buck was like, "Oh, I do remember that." It was pretty
It's
funny.
unforgettable.
I thought you were describing Buck for a second. I was like, oh, no.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. gets a strike on the outside corner. Move to first. Biggio hustles back.
But I was asking one of the representatives, one of our guests, about what this means, what this day means to him, and he was talking about an elder who said it's really important for everyone to recognize the day in their own way.
Runner at first. Vladdy looks out. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chase the big breaking ball way outside the zone. A slider that baits Guerrero to go down on strikes.
As he was telling me that story, there's a woman who was traveling with him, and she came up and said, "Hey, I want to tell you about my grandmother. My grandmother and my mother are both survivors." And she said, they don't talk about the residential schools and surviving that and what they went through, but she said her mother is writing it down, and after she passes, she wants her daughter to read that.
Wow. That'll be an incredibly emotional experience, knowing as the mother moves on what she went through and now is shielding her family and ultimately part of her ongoing legacy. Bo Bichette at the plate. Takes outside, ball 1. Just missed wide.
She said that her grandmother went to residential school, so you were taken away from your family and had to attend this school. For many people, it was hundreds, if not 1,000 miles away.
Pitch pulled foul.
And she talked about how she couldn't fathom how her grandmother felt when her daughter was taken away and made to attend residential school. So a lot of trauma there, a lot of healing, but I think days like today are really important for promoting reconciliation, for moving on from this. Important to remember, but also important to heal.
Change up inside, 2-1. Bichette the go-ahead run at the plate. Ground ball off the fist, hustling from the mound. Criswell's got it. Short feed over to first. That'll retire Bichette, and the Blue Jays leave the tying run on base. But they're on the board. Dalton Varsho with his 20th of the season. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay as we go into the 4th inning. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Mark's store-wide sale is on now. Take an extra 25% off store-wide for 3 days only. This Thursday to Saturday, take 25% off regular, sale, and clearance prices. Visit Mark's and Marks.com for our store-wide sale on now. Door crasher prices as marked.
Is over.
What craziness?
What? Oh, You know, the countless, I'm bored, what's for lunch, and I don't want to go to bed every single night.
Sounds like we need a vacation.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously. With last-minute deals up to 50% off with sell-off vacations, we can make it a room just for two.
Kids, you're going to Grandma's for the week. Mama's got a date with the pool.
Make it happen with
selloffvacations.com. What's happening these days? Gas and food prices are through the roof, and mortgage rates are skyrocketing too. Talk about bad timing. There's bills, car payments, kids' lessons, and what about the fun stuff? You need room to breathe and someone to help figure it out. You need New Borrow to show you how to solve your debt and save money with the equity in your home. Use your home to get a loan with New Borrow. Start your new tomorrow at newborrow.com.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
You had a feeling it would be a short assignment for Hyunjin Ryu today. He is lifted after 3 innings, and Trevor Richards comes aboard for the 55th time this season. Pitching changes are brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty, pro, all the way. Christian Bethencourt, Taylor Walls, and then back to the top of the card for Caminero. Bethencourt tries to sneak his way aboard and drops it foul for strike one.
And again, if this was a normal game in July, Hyunjin Ryu would still be in this ball game. That just shows the magnitude of this game. Hyunjin Ryu didn't pitch badly. He gave up 7 hits in 3 innings, sure. But this game is too big to leave him in.
Blue Jays trailing 2-1. The 0-1. Fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes on Bethencourt. And it was the way that he was allowing the hits too, right? There were some loud outs included. But he wasn't missing many barrels today.
It could very easily be 4-1, 5-1. Trevor Richards in this ballgame is the right move.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes, and Bethencourt goes down after the changeup. 1 down here in the 4th.
And that's the changeup that we've been accustomed to seeing all season from Trevor Richards, starting that pitch in the strike zone, and it drops right out. The problem with Trevor Richards sometimes it becomes more of a floater.
Check swing at the change on the switch hitter, batting left.
And when he's good, it's almost like a split finger. It has that violent action down in the zone. But Trevor Richards gets hit a lot when he leaves that floating changeup up in the zone.
1-0. Another check swing, pitches on the outside corner. This time the change catches the plate, and it's 1-1. Rays 2, Blue Jays 1. 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Chapman off the line at third, but in the baseline. The 2-1. Change up, down and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. (3-1). Popped up, shallow and left. Varsho trots in. Gets there in time. A one-handed catch. And there are 2 away. We're coming to you this afternoon from the Timbermart broadcast booth. When home improvement projects are throwing you a curveball, talk to the folks at Timbermart before you begin your next job. They've got the material, they've got the know-how to make sure you come out with your bases covered. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Rays 2, Blue Jays 1. Junior Caminero at the plate. Gets a fastball, changeup in there for a called strike 1. Caminero is 0 for 2. Bounced to third, popped up at second. Tries to hold up on his swing, offered at the change, and it's 0-2. Big time power for Caminero. 31 home runs in the minor leagues this year. Not a traditional leadoff man, but Kevin Cash said, I want him to get a lot of at-bats. I need to see what he can do, even though I get to see him for a week. The 0-2. Ground ball on the inside-out swing. Dribbling its way to first, picked up by Guerrero. And a quick 1-2-3. 10-pitch inning of work for Trevor Richards. Middle of the fourth, 2-1 Tampa Bay. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When a lion's hungry, he is.
We enter every battle with one goal in mind.
This is a special place in the postseason.
This October, be at Rogers Center. Witness this team and experience next level loud. Lock in the 2024 season ticket membership to access postseason baseball. The only way to guarantee postseason access is by becoming a member. Visit BlueJays.com/season tickets.
This is next level, whoa.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, and I know a foul when I see one. And there's nothing more foul than rising interest rates. So when I'm not calling the ball game, I'm calling Pizza for a hot and fresh fixed-rate pizza. An extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99 until the end of 2023. So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
Go to pizza.ca.
We're Bet365, the world's favorite sports book. Place your bets before or after the game starts on the biggest sports like hockey, basketball, baseball, football, MMA, and soccer. Here's the
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
18 runs over their last 3 games. This is after they were shut out consecutively by the New York Yankees. Pitch outside on Kirk, 1 ball and 1 strike. 11 runs last night. 3 solo home runs. And Dalton Varsho with today's long ball, 4th solo shot. Swing and a miss by Kirk. And it's 1-2. Every home run this season brought to you by WestJet. Kirk had 1 of the 3 in last night's Blue Jays win. Varsho joins the 20 club. Blue Jays with 20 or more home runs. 1-2. Soft liner into right field, a base hit. That wasn't the smoothest swing that we've seen from Alejandro Kirk this season, but it had the same productivity. He drops it in for a leadoff single here in the 4th.
That was such a great piece of hitting from Alejandro Kirk. It was almost like a Bo Bichette type swing where he took that curveball or slider that was about 2 or 3 inches off the plate and just poked his bat out. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just dropped it in over the second baseman into right field.
Third baseman creeping in. Kevin Kiermaier doesn't show bunt. Takes down and away, ball 1. Kiermaier, the longtime Tampa Bay Ray. 1-0. Over for a called strike. 1-1 on Kiermaier.
And Criswell doesn't really have great stuff. He just has kind of a funky arm action, like a slingy type arm action.
1-1. Inside.
Fastball 87 to 89, kind of a spinny slider. If he stays in this game much longer, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jays get to him.
2-1. Check swing at the changeup. Takes it outside, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. On the shuttle a little bit in between the International League and the big leagues. The 3-1 pulled foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff. Way outside. Ball 4. The Blue Jays have something cooking. Kirk the leadoff single. A walk worked by Kiermaier. First and second for Toronto. And Matt Chapman coming up. Over this afternoon, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Wings, ribs, beer, cocktail, and every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com. Always devilishly good.
I know the Blue Jays don't play small ball all that often, but this is a perfect opportunity. You're in a big ball game. You're down by 1 run to bunt these guys over and get them into scoring position. You have a guy coming up next in Whit Merrifield who doesn't really hit into double plays. He hits for contact a lot of the time. Look, I'm not saying John Schneider will bunt here, but he absolutely should.
Interesting, you know, this staff has given a lot of confidence to Chapman and tell him to keep swinging, keep grinding through your at-bats. Swing and a miss by Chapman. That's strike 1. Back-to-back ball games with home runs for the Blue Jay third baseman. Takes inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you're in a playoff type ball game, you have to score whenever you can. 1 run here, 1 run there. You can't expect to hit the big fly every single time to score your runs. You can't rely on home runs.
1-1. Popped up, shallow on the right side. Infield retreats in from right field with a dive. Ramirez stays with the play. A fantastic plunging grab made in right field. And there's 1 down.
And just like that, little loopy fly ball, 1 out. Runners are still at first and second.
Feels like it changes the complexion of the entire inning, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with Whit coming up next. That's the guy that I want up in that situation. 1 out, runners on second and third, big runs on base.
Here's the pitch to Whit. Merrifield gets a strike on the inside corner. Double play still into effect. 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays trailing 2-1. Ground ball out to the shortstop. Grabbed by Walls. Booted by Walls. Rolls towards third where there's no play. Everybody is safe. The Rays just clanked themselves out of a potential inning-ending double play. Everybody's safe. The bases are loaded. Dalton Varsho got the Blue Jays on the board with his 20th of the year back in the third. Go ahead run in scoring position. Looks at a breaking ball outside, ball 1.
And that's a great thing for Toronto. Now they have the bases loaded with only 1 out. But I really hope that John Schneider learned his lesson right there. I'm not kidding. I really hope he did.
1-0, rifled up the right field line, foul. Varsho smothers that changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dalton Varsho. Tampa Bay 2, Toronto 1. 1 down, bases loaded. 1-1. Pulled foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Line to the gap in right center field. Down for a base hit. Kirk hits the dish to tie the game. Racing around third. Kiermaier will score. And the Blue Jays are on top. Dalton Varsho with a 2-run base hit. When Merrifield goes first to third. And the Blue Jays take advantage of a defensive miscue by Taylor Walls at shortstop. And Toronto now in front, 3-2.
And the longer Criswell is in this game, I think the bigger this gap will be. The Blue Jays need to take advantage of him on this mound right now. Just called up from Durham. He has pretty below average stuff.
Springer takes up and in, ball 1.
Dalton Varsho hit that ball on the screws. Biggest hit of the year right there.
Varsho driving in all 3. Runners at first and third, still 1 out. Springer takes way outside. Bethencourt lost his footing, diving for that to his right. Good speed on the 2-0. Springer pokes it out of play to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike. Quick update on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The final innings for the great Miguel Cabrera continuing at Comerica Park in Detroit. Just had a sacrifice fly for the Tigers. What could be the final RBI ever for Miguel Cabrera. Here's a liner by Springer into right field. A base hit. Merrifield comes in to score. Blue Jays have tallied up 3 here in the 4th inning and are on top, 4-2. Springer goes the opposite way, his first hit of this series. And the Blue Jays continue with runners at first and second and still 1 out.
There was a massive hole on the right side of that infield, and George Springer definitely saw it. He had a great approach at that plate. He was trying to go the other way, and he did just that.
Biggio fouls the first pitch off at the plate. Oh, 1. Over for a called strike. Biggio in the hole, 0-2. Hits by Varsho, hits by Springer, maybe starting to relax Toronto. The 0-2. Strike 3 called over the knees. Biggio down looking, and there are 2 out. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up. Outfield lined up and straight away. Pitch. Guerrero swings through a big slider again for strike 1. I don't think he's seeing Criswell very well when he's at the plate.
No, like we were talking about earlier, Criswell doesn't have great stuff, but he kind of has a slingy, funky arm slot.
0-1. Down and away.
And there's a shadow right now halfway between the mound and Criswell, or halfway between Criswell and Vlad at the plate. That might be messing with him as well.
First and second, 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. All sliders to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. One-two. Strike 3 called in the inside corner. Backup slider hit the edge. Vladdy goes down looking, but the Blue Jays tally 3 in the 4th inning, and now are on top of the Rays with a 4-2 lead. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Do more in a reliable Subaru, they said. Enjoy more time together to go more places with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, they said. More award-winning safety for more peace of mind, but to listen to one song over and over again.
But when it comes to getting you the best electronics at the best prices, we'll be your hero. The Super Sale on now at Visions Electronics. Super savings in every department store-wide. TVs, home audio, appliances, laptops, laptops, car starters, and more. Plus, take up to 3 years to pay interest-free. The Super Sale on now at Visions Electronics. See all the deals at visions.ca.
Mark's store-wide sale is on now. Take an extra 25% off store-wide for 3 days.
Ham it up at Food Basics with this week's deal on irresistible smoked spiral ham. Just $3.44 per pound until October 4th. Plus, get more great deals in the digital flyer at foodbasics.ca or on the app. Food Basics, always more for less.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Proven winners Color Choice shrubs are the landscaping plants that have been trialed and tested by expert horticulturists to ensure your success. Whether you're looking for the hottest hydrangea, a reblooming rose, or an elegant evergreen, you can count on the shrubs in the white containers for easy care curb appeal for years to come. There's still plenty of time to improve your landscape this season, so head to your favorite local garden center and ask for Proven Winners Color Choice flowering shrubs.
Richards in relief after Ryu got rocked, but the Blue Jays have taken him off the hook. Rosarena takes low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed hitter, 1 for 2 today, 1-1. Watch out, he backs away from a pitch inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. His double set up the first run for the Rays. His second time up led off the 3rd inning. It was a hard line drive to right field that nearly went over the head of Kevin Biggio. He went leaping into the air to corral it. 2-1. High and tight. 3 balls and a strike on Rosarena. He's batting second today. Interesting to see if Randy Rosarena gets the assignment tomorrow for Tampa Bay. The 3-1 inside, ball 4, 5-pitch walk to lead off the 5th inning.
And the last thing you want to do as a pitcher coming out after your team just put up a 3-spot is walk the leadoff hitter. The number 1 goal coming out in this inning for Trevor Richards should be throw strikes down in the zone and get that shutdown inning that everybody loves to get after your team scores a few runs. Let's see if he can get a double play on a changeup down here.
Blue Jays in middle of the diamond, communicating between Merrifield and Bichette. Pitch to Harold Ramirez. Swing and a miss. He's going to get a heavy dose of changeups. Already 2 for 2 today and scored the 2nd run for Tampa Bay in the 3rd. Rays went in front 2-0. Dalton Varsho cut it in half with a solo home run in the 3rd. And then the Blue Jays tally 3 in the 4th. 0-1. Pulled sharply foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays got an Alejandro Kirk single, a walk by Kevin Kiermaier. Matt Chapman popped up in shallow right field. Whit Merrifield hit what could have been an inning-ending double play. Now Whit's got really good speed, would have taken everything perfectly executed to turn 2 in the middle of the diamond and then over to first to get Whit. But the Rays didn't get any out. Walls clanked it. Blue Jays had the bases loaded and scored 2 more. 1-2 on Ramirez. The pitch. That's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And I love the fact that Trevor Richards doubled up on that fastball there. Harold Ramirez was probably looking for a changeup after that fastball up. The last thing he was looking for there is another fastball up, especially with a pitcher that throws tons of changeups.
2-2. Hit high and deep out to left field. Varsho turns around and it is gone. A 2-run home run that ties this game from the bat of Harold Ramirez. He got the changeup, hit the changeup, and levels this game off once again with a 2-run home run. It's 4-4 here in the 5th.
And guess what Harold Ramirez was thinking there? He's thrown 2 fastballs up. There's no way he's throwing another fastball. And Trevor Richards gave him exactly what he wanted. That changeup that started down the middle kind of broke back on the inside half of the plate, and Harold Ramirez did not miss that pitch.
Isaac Paredes steps in. Takes just a little bit high for ball 1. Number 12 on the season for Harold Ramirez. He's 3 for 3 today. 1-0. Paredes takes a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. 1-1. Missed outside with a fastball at 92 miles an hour, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Josh Lowe, the left-handed batter. He's coming up soon, so Genesis Cabrera starts to loosen. 2-1, hit well out to straightaway center. Ballpark will hold it. There's Kiermaier drifting to his left, and there's 1 down. This 5th inning is being presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and check out the latest odds for today's baseball games. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. A 4-4 game. Curtis Mead swings and fouls the first one back. Strike 1.
You don't want to have a boring game on clinch day, Ben. Keep us on our toes. Maybe a walk-off in the 9th. That'd be fun.
Nobody's going to walk out of here with fingernails. Oh, 1. Downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And there's that good changeup that he probably wanted to throw to Harold Ramirez, the one that breaks out of the zone.
1-1. Tapped off foul at the plate. 1-2. The 1-2. That's high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Certainly that stuffed the energy in the building after the Blue Jays erupted for 3 runs at the bottom of the 4th inning. Much calmer atmosphere with the sellout crowd. 2-2. Fouled back.
You just can't walk the leadoff hitter after your team scores 3 runs. I'm guilty of this. Every pitcher is guilty of this, but rule number 1 is do not walk the leadoff hitter after your team scores. Give up a base hit, but do not walk him.
2-2. Swinging a foul back. Simplest rules still apply. There's no defense for the walk.
Exactly.
Two. Up and away with a fastball missing. Moves the count to 3-2. Little slivers of sunlight peeking through. Going over the mound, over near first. A big swath in right field. Most of the diamond in the outfield turf covered in shadows. A late afternoon tilt for the Rays and the Blue Jays. A little bit of a breeze. The payoff. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Richards. He gets Curtis Mead to go down on strikes, and there's 2 away. Large for a couple of reasons. One, you get the second out of the inning. And also, you've got Josh Lowe coming up. And you didn't want to have the go-ahead run on with Lowe and his 20 home runs and already a really good season against Toronto. That'll be all required of Trevor Richards this afternoon. Genesis Cabrera summoned in the pitching change, brought to you by CertainTeed, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. CertainTeed, pro all the way. Rays led 2-0. Blue Jays came back from a 2-1 deficit and took a 4-2 lead before the game-tying home run by Harold Ramirez here in the 5th inning. It's 4-4 as we check in with Shoali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we get to that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, let's take a visit with Blair and Barker, the guys speaking to John Schneider for their weekly visit.
John, how is Bo taking the move?
He was great. You know, Bo's always trying to figure out a way to beat somebody. We talked about it yesterday, and he was totally on board. He was great with it. You know, I think having him behind Vlad offers Vlad a little bit more protection, too. Bo's probably not going to get changed in the way he's being pitched, you know, if Vlad's behind him or if anyone else is behind him. So trying to just really take advantage of his skill set with guys on. He's got great numbers with runners in scoring position, but he was all on board. He said he was actually thinking about it recently, too. And, you know, that's the kind of guy he is. He just wants to beat you.
That is John Schneider chatting with Blair and Barker. And don't forget, the guys have J-Stock down here at the Dome after the final out on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Some games we will all be looking at later on tonight. Rangers at Mariners, 7 Eastern Andrew Heaney versus Luis Castillo. An hour later, a 10 Eastern, Astros at Diamondbacks, Justin Verlander versus Merrill Kelly. The Red Sox will take on the Orioles as well. That's 7:15. The Orioles, of course, already having locked up the division in a 100-win season. Yankees at Royals. That game goes at 7:10 Eastern. Clark Schmidt versus Steven Cruz. The Yankees are 81-79. They have not finished under 500 since 1992. And NHL preseason action continues tonight. Leafs at Canadians will go at 7 Eastern. They won 2-1 last night. Sheldon Keefe saying that Connor Timmins will miss some time after sustaining a lower body injury in the third period of last night's ball game. That's a quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Blue Jays baseball is presented by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get back to the action here at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Wagner and Chris LaRue.
Thank you, Show. We're joining you from the Timbermart broadcast booth this afternoon, where the Blue Jays and the Rays tied 4-4. Josh Lowe goes lefty on lefty with Genesis Cabrera. His first pitch is a fastball that's downstairs for ball one. Harold Ramirez has tied this game here in the fifth. Lowe connected with an RBI double, made it 2-0 back in the third. 1-0. That's lined the other way. A base hit sinking into the right center field gap. That'll split the difference between Kiermaier and Varsho. Kiermaier cuts it off in the alley before the warning track as Lowe steps into second base with his second extra base hit today.
And Lowe's such a good hitter. That good fastball from Genesis Cabrera on the outside part of the plate, and Lowe just takes it into left center. He's got such a sweet swing. Flat through the zone, and he's off to the races to second base.
That's another reason why that 3-2 strikeout of Curtis Meade is understated here in this fifth. Manuel Margot at the plate. Gets a breaking ball down and in. Curb misses for ball one on Margot. Lowe was out of the lineup yesterday against Yusei Kikuchi. Got the start today. He's at second. Margot at the plate. 1-0. There's a high fly ball out to center field. Kiermaier going back. Starts to feel for the wall. He's there to make the catch. Retiring Margot and the side. A double stranded with the 2-run home run by Harold Ramirez. The former Blue Jay minor leaguer ties this game 4-4, middle of the fifth. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Ontario has never invested more in student success. We're hiring thousands of new educators to work alongside some of the best paid teachers in Canada, right here in Ontario. We're investing in new reading and math supports and spending billions to upgrade and build state-of-the-art schools. Students are back in classrooms with their friends where they belong, so they learn the skills they need now for the jobs of the future. Learn more at ontario.ca/investing in students. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. Well, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or just go to eBay Motors and get it right the first time. When you see the green check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights. eBay Motors has millions of parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride.
At Toyota, we believe your vehicle is more than just your ride. It's your trusty sidekick. So make sure it's ready to go. Because there's a 100% chance of winter this winter. And you can take those odds to the bank.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
One win or a Mariners loss, the Blue Jays will be into the postseason. The seed, TBD, to be determined, but the Blue Jays want to take the first step and worry about the other stuff later. They want to get in. Do not want to wait on the out-of-town scoreboard and what could unfold, and perhaps a four-way tie, which would be the detriment of the Blue Jays going into Sunday afternoon's affair. Andrew Kittredge is aboard to take over the pitching for Tampa Bay. Righty on righty with Bichette. Leg lift in the deal. Fastball's a little low for ball one.
Ben, if the Jays win today, will you watch that Seattle game later tonight?
No.
I'm glad you said that.
I've invested enough time. The 1-0. It's over for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Go have a beverage somewhere. Don't watch the game.
I'm going to pull a shoot on that one. I will be paying attention to what unfolds, though. 1-1. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bo Bichette. A lot at stake for the Blue Jays. They could still have that trip to the Trop canceled and end up in Minneapolis, Minnesota coming up on Tuesday night. The Blue Jays go in as the 3rd wild card instead of the 2nd. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Went past the slider, and Bichette is down on strikes. Andrew Kittredge coming aboard courtesy of Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty Pro all the way. Alejandro Kirk, the batter. Kirk's 1 for 2. Single came in back in the 4th. Chops one out to the shortstop. 2 hopper handled by Walls. Shuffle step, releases the throw. 2 down.
They just showed a replay on the TV showing George Springer in the dugout going over to Dalton Varsho, and they put their foreheads together, and Springer was shaking Dalton Varsho. You can just tell how happy everybody is for Dalton Varsho now that he's coming out of his slump, this season-long slump, and he's the hitter that everybody thought he would be.
Kiermaier rolls one out to the second baseman, funneled up by Meade, plays it to first. Blue Jays retired 1-2-3 here in the 5th inning. We'll go to the 6th. Blue Jays, Rays in a 4-4 score. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming across the Sportsnet Radio Network and sportsnet.ca.
With the cost of living going up, I've got to find some ways to save money.
Have you decided to keep your vehicle longer? With rising prices and reduced inventory, you're not the only one. Crown is here to help. Our annual rust protection program will keep your vehicle looking great and lasting longer. And it doesn't cost much more than a tank of gas these days. So come on over to your local Crown Center today.
Come to any Major League ballpark and you'll experience more of what you love about baseball.
This one is going a long way.
More jaw-dropping defensive plays.
Takes a hit away.
More hits, more runs, more stolen bases.
Steals way into scoring position.
And the game moves fast, like 2.5 hours fast. So you can bring the whole family and still be home for bedtime. Quicker games, more action. Follow it all at MLB.com. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 6th inning is being presented by Desjardins Insurance. Insurance with a heart so big it shows. Visit Desjardins.com/heart today. 4-4 for the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. The magic number is 1. The Blue Jays would like to take care of business and win one and seal their deal for the 2023 Major League Baseball postseason and go into the wild card round. A little bit of baseball to go, especially with this tie game and a 4-4 situation as the Blue Jays move back into the bullpen. This pitching change brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty Pro all the way. Genesis Cabrera faced Josh Lowe. He doubled lefty on lefty. Manuel Margot then skied one out to center. That stopped the rest of the threat in the 5th inning, after Harold Ramirez tied the game 4-4. Now Eric Swanson comes aboard. Christian Bethencourt, Taylor Walls, and Junior Caminero coming up. Righty on righty with Swanson. First pitch laced into left field. That's down for a base hit next to the line. Cut off in the warning track by Varsho. Big turn by Bethencourt after the sharp contact. The result is a long single. And that's the value of Dalton Varsho and how he does things fundamentally. Hustling over, making sure that ball didn't get to the wall, because if it does, that provides a free 90 feet.
And you can hear the appreciation from the crowd. Usually the crowd wouldn't cheer for something like that. A lot of those things go unnoticed, and Dalton Varsho hustling into the corner, reaching out and getting that ball and throwing it back into second base. What a play.
Taylor Walls squares, rolls the bunt foul first base side, strike one.
And he's done that so many times this year. Nobody talks about stuff like that. Those are the intangibles that you hear about that Dalton Varsho can give a successful team. I love it. I love what he does out there.
Get to the ball in the corner, make a strong, accurate throw back to the diamond, too. Chapman creeps in. Walls does it square, takes down and in, and a ball that gets through Kirk late. A read by Bethencourt, then the throw by Kirk gets out of the reach of Bichette into center field, and Bethencourt pops up and advances to third. A ball that got through Kirk, went through the 5-hole. Bethencourt didn't realize it immediately until Walls started to wave him towards second base. And then the throw tails on Kirk out of the reach of Bichette. And now the go-ahead run for Tampa Bay is at third with nobody out.
And Alejandro Kirk let that ball get by him, but he had a tough time getting past Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire, and then he made an errant throw into second base.
1-1. Strike. Top part of the zone with the splitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Walls. Infield spin drawn in. One-two. Fouled away at the plate. No change in the count. 4 runs on 10 hits for the Rays today. 4 runs on just a handful of hits for the Blue Jays. They've got 4 of them. Solo home run and 3 singles. All 3 singles in the 4th. 1-2. Down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Eric Swanson. You don't see those all that often.
It's a heart rate built for the postseason. Extra adrenaline. A little extra on the finish. The 2-2 popped up on the diamond. This is a huge break for the Blue Jays. Fly ball underneath it. Bichette retires Walls, and there's 1 away. We're inside the Timber Mart broadcast booth here this afternoon. Eric Swanson trying to keep it 4-4. The lefty Jake Diekman loosening up in the bullpen. No action behind Swanson for Toronto. Top of the order in Junior Caminero. Infield stays in. He takes low, ball 1.
If I'm Eric Swanson out there, I'm just letting Caminero get himself out. I'm not throwing him a good pitch here.
0-1. That's low. Feasted on a lot of fastballs in the minors. Hit 31 home runs. Had 500 level power on display here during batting practice at Rogers Center. The 2-0. Poked out a play to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And there you go, Eric Swanson. 2-0 pitch. Still not giving him a pitch to hit.
I wouldn't throw him anything straight.
No, I would. Change-ups down, sliders away. Just stick with that. Let him beat that ball into the ground.
The 2-1. Down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. That was another slider. Infield stays in. Runner at third. And the pitch is low, ball 4. With 1 down, runners at first and third now for Tampa Bay. And the dangerous Randy Arozarena coming to the plate. If the Blue Jays lose today, there still is a chance they can get in tonight. If the Rangers rebound after a couple of tough losses, blown out last night, walked off the night before. If the Rangers can rebound in their series in Seattle and win tonight. Pitch to Arozarena, drubbed up the right field line, hit pretty well, but slicing into the seats. Into the final section of foul territory for strike 1. Four game. Swanson's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip at the fastball, and it's 0-2. St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard. It's a 7:15 Eastern first pitch. Mariners and Rangers tonight. Astros factoring in as well. They play in the desert. 0-2. That's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justin Verlander against Michael Kelly, the pitching matchup in Arizona tonight between the Astros and the Diamondbacks. One down, first and third. The 1-2. Fouled back. Pitching matchup in Seattle features the great Luis Castillo, who has roughed up his last time, but still he's had a great year for the Mariners. Andrew Heaney will get the start tonight for Texas. The 1-2. That's high. Good take by Arozarena. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arozarena doubled and scored in the first inning, then lined to right. Took a leadoff walk from Trevor Richards in the 5th inning, and then came in on the 2-run home run from Harold Ramirez to tie it up. The 2-2. Arozarena pulls it down to third. Chapman's got it. Merrifield at second with a pivot. On to first in time. Double play. Exactly what the Blue Jays wanted, and they go around the horn to get it. Chapman with a great feed to Merrifield, and the veteran hangs in to get the out on Arozarena at first base on the bang-bang play to keep this game 4-4. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Okay, honey. Can we talk about the spare bedroom?
I don't like the sound of this.
Well, your baseball bobblehead collection is...
the largest, most comprehensive assembly on Earth. What about my boys? You want to get rid of them.
I just want to put your bobbleheads in storage.
When your bases are loaded, reclaim some space with Access Storage. Flexible and affordable storage solutions at a store near you. Access Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
The 20 times the points event is back at Shoppers Drug Mart, and it's how Sarah piles on the points.
I just opened my PC Optimum app to load my 20 times the points offer, shop for stuff like cosmetics and my essentials, and I get 30% back in points. And the more points I earn, the more free stuff I can get.
Nice, Sarah. The 20 times the points event runs September 29th to 30th. In-store only, exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart. Remember, more points equals more free stuff. And free feels good. Restrictions apply. Details in app.
At Honda, we can't wait
to tell you that the all-new 2024 CR-V EXL Hybrid has arrived.
Right, but I was going to tell them...
about amazing features like all-wheel drive and a power moonroof.
Well, actually, that...
it comes with a 2-motor hybrid powertrain.
Just wait. I was going to tell them that it's in stock today, so...
so you don't have to wait.
Yes.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
With a Rosarena. 4-4 game for the Blue Jays and the Rays. Jake Diekman, the left-hander, comes aboard in relief for Tampa Bay. Matt Chapman, Whit Merrifield, and Dalton Varsho coming up. Here's the pitch. Chapman takes outside, ball one.
Jake Diekman told me yesterday that he wants to play into his 40s. And at 36 years old, he's given up 0 runs in his last 15 2/3 innings. That's pretty incredible.
The 1-0. Inside corner called strike, and it's 1-1. And he's still left-handed despite his age. He's throwing 95. He's got a couple of things really working in his favor, including a key mindset. 1-1. Across the knees, a fastball called strike at 96. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Blue Jay third baseman. Chapman's popped to second and then line to right. A really nice play made by Josh Lowe in right field. Retired him back in the fourth. One-two. Fouled back off the fist. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Major League Standings Watch is certainly that. Presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, even make a bet while the game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Chapman pops another up over the diamond. The shortstop Walls looking to take charge, makes the play. And there's one down. Are we watching? Certainly. Are we deep diving and trying to knife through all the scenarios? Yes, and it's mind-numbing. There is so much in play. The 5 remaining spots for the postseason could be determined by the end of the day. All could be up in the air at the start of tomorrow for Game 162. Whit Merrifield at the plate. Hits the first pitch in the air, shallow right. Meade goes back from second. Lowe comes in from right. One-handed squeeze from the right fielder, and there are 2 down.
Ben, can you quickly explain to me how we get to Minnesota?
We call Sportsnet travel.
All right.
Yeah. That's the short answer. We wait on the day's outcomes.
All right, I'll look it up.
And then we come with a scenario for the Blue Jays and what can happen. Dalton Varsho, lefty on lefty, gets a strike across the knees. The Blue Jays would go to Minneapolis if they are the 3rd wild card. The 0-1. Ground ball out to second. Step to his right, down to a knee. Meade pops up, throws to first. Varsho retired. We're going to the 7th. This is a 4-4 game. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
With the price of a new vehicle, I'm not buying one anytime soon. Have you decided to keep your vehicle longer? With rising prices and reduced inventory, you're not the only one. Crown is here to help. Our annual rust protection program will keep your vehicle looking great and lasting longer. And it doesn't cost much more than a tank of gas these days. So come on over to your local Crown Center today and protect your vehicle, your investment.
In 2023, Major League Baseball is getting some fan-powered updates. You spoke, MLB listened. And this season, you'll be getting a faster pace of play with the pitch timer, more balls in play from shift restrictions, and And more action on the base paths from some of your favorite athletes due to bigger bases. Tried and tested in the minors, these new rules are bringing extra excitement to the game you love.
Unbelievable!
Learn more at MLB.com/rules.
With one goal in mind.
This is a special place in the postseason.
This October, be at Rogers Center. Witness this team and experience next level loud. Lock in the 2024 season ticket membership to access postseason baseball. The only way to guarantee postseason access is by becoming a member. Visit BlueJays.com/season tickets.
This is next level, whoa.
We was waiting for. Ooh, there go the youngin'.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Back at Rogers Center going into the 7th inning, tied 4-4 for the Blue Jays and the Rays. Armin Zargarian, Connor Lamont, Tom Young behind the scenes. Show Ali is alongside with Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Wagner. The Blue Jays go to the bullpen moving into the 7th inning.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Certainty Pro all the way. Jimmy Garcia aboard. Harold Ramirez, Isak Paredes, and Curtis Mead, the 3, 4, and 5 batters coming up for Tampa Bay. Here in the 7th inning, being brought to you by WestJet. Extra vacation days, we've got a flight for that. Book your flight across Canada at WestJet.com. WestJet, proud to be the official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays. Harold Ramirez has one of the biggest strikes in this ball game. A game-tying 2-run home run from the 5th. Just his 12th home run of the season, but boy, has he ever authored a tremendous season for Tampa Bay. He's 3 for 3 today, and he has stapled his average well above 300 to close out the year. Ramirez digs in with an 811 OPS. Right-handed batter against Garcia, who kicks and comes home. And the first pitch chopped weakly, third base side from the mound. Garcia handles it with a bare hand. Quick throw to first in time to get the out. What a play by Jimmy Garcia, who isn't challenged much to spring off the hill. Covered his position, ranging far over near the third baseline, and put it right on the money to Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
That was kind of a tricky play. It didn't really look like he fielded it very cleanly, but he grabbed that baseball and made a perfect throw to Vlad at first base.
Went down with 2 hands and it got a majority of the bare palm. Isak Paredes jumps on the first one, hits it high in the air but short. Out from second into the turf is Merrifield, 2 away.
And that's exactly what the Blue Jays need. Fastballs down in the zone, 2 quick outs, get this offense back in the dugout.
We're coming to you this afternoon from the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Blue Jays and Rays tied 4-4, and it's all on the line today for Toronto. They want to do it without any help. Get to the postseason. They can do it today with a win. The champagne was delivered early this afternoon. It is on ice in the bowels of the ballpark. Robert Stevenson, a right-hander, loosens in the pin for the Rays. Curtis Mead. It's a slider, strike 1.
Ben, I just selfishly want to see you drenched in beer. Or champagne. Either or is fine with me.
We asked John Schneider which would he rather have. He said it's all good on a day like today. Pitch is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm of the mindset you spray one and you swig the other. The 1-1. Popped up, foul territory. Vladdy looking for a chance. He'll have it. He's there, makes the catch. And a 1-2-3, 7th turned in by Jimmy Garcia. We're tied at 4, and in downtown Toronto, it's time to stretch. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming through the new Sportsnet app and over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Chapman's dazzling plays happen here on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Former Pirate, now Tampa Bay Ray, Robert Stevenson is aboard to take over for Tampa Bay. This pitching change brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty Pro of the Year. It might be his most important appearance of the season. The Rays, they're certainly not rolling over during their 3-day stop, already owning the #1 spot and starting the American League wild card, hosting whoever is their opponent. They have come to battle against the Blue Jays here in this 3-game set. George Springer, Kevin Biggio, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. tasked to face Stevenson. We are tied 4-4. Springer will lead it off. And a season of significance born 7 days apart with Freddie Freeman. George Springer and Freddie Freeman are the only two players this season in Major League Baseball that are over 33 that can claim they've got a 2020 season. 20 or more home runs and 20 or more stolen bases. And they're just the third and the fourth in the last decade to do so. Springer with a check swing. Did he offer on the appeal to first? He went around and a called strike. Springer with 21 home runs this season and 20 stolen bases. Freddie's having a remarkable season on the left coast with the Dodgers. The 0-1. Another check swing. This time lays off cleanly. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Freddie Freeman is not a guy that I would have guessed who has 20 steals.
He's got 23 stolen bases, and he's running like a wild man compared to where he was in his career. Springer swings and misses at the 1-1. In fact, he's been stretching his legs all season long. He's on the cusp of getting 60 doubles this season. Has 29 home runs and the 23 stolen bases. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Springer is down on strikes. Interesting development for the Blue Jays. Jordan Romano is loosening in the Blue Jay bullpen. Tied at 4. In the 8th inning, Josh Lowe, Manuel Margot, and Christian Bethencourt scheduled to come up. Kevin Biggio takes a fastball high for ball 1. Now, John Schneider has used Romano in tie games in the 9th. The 1-0. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes. Has there been a change of the guard here? Has Jordan Hicks and Jordan Romano flip-flop their roles?
I actually like the fact that Jordan Romano's coming in to face the meat of the order.
2-0 to Biggio, popped up over his teammate's dugout for strike 1.
You come in, you face Josh Lowe, one of the best hitters in their lineup. Sure, being a closer is nice, but I think that the biggest part of this ball game is in the 8th inning facing those 3 guys.
Two and 1 the count. The pitch to Cavan. In the air out to straightaway center. Now drifting. over into the alley. Rosarena is there calling and catching. 2 down here in the 7th.
Or do you think it's just more of a decision of he's just not the closer anymore?
Well, it certainly is going to be the first question asked of John Schneider during his post-game media scrum, regardless of the outcome. Here's Vladdy. Tops it weakly, third base side, charging in. Camanero's got it, on the move, throws to first, in time to get the out. Vladdy thought he was safe. The Blue Jays bench not so sure. John Schneider drapes one over the front rail and looks back at Coach Gil Kim. And Caminero charging in with the bare hand, a low throw and a dig made by Paredes at first base. Get the out in time. Blue Jays said it did. So the out is recorded. The Blue Jays are set aside in order in the 7th. Off to the 8th. Jordan Romano is coming in with the lights going down in a 4-4 game. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
There's another home run worth cheering about. It's the tireless work your hometown charities perform every day to make life better in your community. Through charitable bingo and gaming centers across Ontario, 2,200 local charities have received more than $400 million to support their work. Play a game where your hometown wins every time. Charitable gaming, community good. Check out how we play at charitablegaming.ca.
At Real Canadian Superstore, this week, get a 5 to 7 kilo frozen turkey for only $24. Perfect for keeping your wallet stuffed this Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Offer ends October 4th. Only at Real Canadian Superstore.
Mark's store-wide sale is on now. Take an extra 25% off store-wide for 3 days only. This Thursday to Saturday, take 25% off regular, sale, and clearance prices. Visit Mark's and Marks.com for our store-wide sale on now. Door crasher prices as marked.
Ontario has never invested more.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Blue Jays and Rays move into the 8th inning, being brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Insurance with a heart so big it shows. Visit Desjardins.com/heart today. We're tied at 4. Romano aboard in the 8th inning, and a dangerous hitter in Josh Lowe at the plate.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
Got jammed and blooped one into left field to walk it off for the Rays. The 1-0, slider outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. No action behind Romano right now. We're tied 4-4. The 2-0 takes all the way, and the slider's outside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on Josh Lowe, who over the last 3 years trails only Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Marcus Semien for most hits in the major leagues. 3-0, fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. Bo, Vladdy, and Marcus Semien all have more than 500 hits over the last 3 seasons. The 2 doubles today for Lowe give him 489. 3-1, fouled away to the left. Romano trying to bounce out of a 3-0 deficit in his count. Three balls and 2 strikes. Romano twists, squares up, the payoff. And a fastball tapped out in front of the plate. Kirk hops on it with a bare hand, off balance throw to first, in time to get the out. Lowe was hustling up the first baseline, It took a bit of time for Kirk to reach down, pick that up with his bare paw, because that ball had a lot of spin on it. Made an off-balance throw to get the bang-bang play at first.
And what an incredibly athletic play by Alejandro Kirk. There was kind of some confusion between Romano and Kirk as to who was going to take that ball. Kirk came a long way, almost halfway to the mound, and threw that ball off of 1 foot. What a huge play in this ball game.
Tied at 4. Manuel Margot, good speed. Swings at a slider, strike 1.
And I feel like now that there's 1 out in this inning, Romano can maybe breathe a little easier. The crowd was booing him when he went to 3-0, which was a little bit disappointing, but now he can breathe a little bit easier.
0-1, fouled off into the glove, held by Kirk. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Romano. It's not been an easy couple of weeks for Jordan. He's been nursing a cracked nail on his throwing hand. That was somewhat of a concern in that Rays series. Saw him yesterday on the field, said he's fine, good to go. The 0-2 to Margot. Fastball's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's that good 99-mile-an-hour fastball that we haven't seen all that often in the last little while from Jordan. Hopefully he can throw a lot more of those in the playoffs.
1-2. Ground ball to the right side, hustling to his left, right at the cut of the turf in the dirt. Merrifield's got it on to first in time. Margot retired here in the 8th, and there are 2 down. Next half inning for Toronto, Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk, and Kevin Kiermaier scheduled to bat. We're tied at 4. Christian Bethancourt, the batter. Takes a fastball high and tight, ducks out of the way at a 99-mile-an-hour heater. His heart is racing.
And there was no intent there, but Christian Bethancourt obviously a little bit phased by that almost 100-mile-an-hour zooming by his helmet.
Now he asks for time. No harm, no foul. Injury report brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life is throwing you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. Swing and a miss by Bethancourt. You focus on getting better. Bergmanis Pereira will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. One. Swinging a line drive up the line and left, hooking into the corner, down for a base hit. 1 hop into the wall. Bethancourt cruising towards second, slides in ahead of the throw from Dalton Varsho with a 2-out double. Second hit today, 3rd time aboard for Bethancourt. And the 11th hit overall for the Tampa Bay Rays, who have an 11-4 advantage in the hit column.
On the previous pitch, Jordan threw a really good slider down off the plate that Bethancourt swung and missed at. Rule number 1 is when you throw a really good pitch off the plate and somebody offers at it, do not come with a worse pitch over the plate. And that's exactly what he did, and that's why Bethancourt hit it in the left.
Go ahead, run. Pitch to Taylor Walls. Fastball called low, ball 1. The go-ahead run stands at second for Tampa Bay. Walls 0 for 3 at the plate today. Batting 9th. Romano's 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball out to center. Underneath it, Kiermaier. He's there. Makes the play to retire the side. The go-ahead run for Tampa Bay stranded in scoring position. Middle of the 8th. We're tied 4-4 at Rogers Center. This is Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Want to be certain your reno goes right? Start with Pro Materials with CertainTeed Drywall. In fire resistant, water resistant, super durable, or soundproof, and top quality insulation. Ceiling systems, premium shingles, and siding. Do it right with professional grade.
It's a large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99 until the end of 2023. So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important news bulletin. Desjardins Insurance was spotted downtown helping everyone in its path. Unpredictable weather, fallen tree branches, wayward baseballs flying towards second-story windows. Desjardins Insurance is helping Canadians through it all. Is there nothing this large and friendly ally won't do for neighbors in need? Never before have we seen insurance with a heart so big it shows.
Desjardins Insurance, home and auto. Learn more at desjardins.com/heart.
I put my heart on my lips. I gave it all I could give.
This is Kevin Biggio, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
For their postseason life, Arizona will take on Houston at 8:10 Eastern on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Pete Fairbanks is out of the bullpen to work for Tampa Bay. Pitching change brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. It's Certainty Pro all the way. Pete Fairbanks, Bo Bichette. That'll open up the 8th inning for Toronto. Bo stares out. The pitch. Takes inside, ball 1. Nobody in the last 3 years has had more hits in the regular season than Bo Bichette. He's still one of the active leaders in the American League despite missing 3 combined weeks on the IL. The 1-0. That's low at 100 miles an hour, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Fairbanks unraveled on the Blue Jays last week. Issued a handful of walks that allowed Toronto to creep back into a ball game and then slip by Tampa Bay. The 2-0. Bichette takes a slider inside. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
And if Bo Bichette gets on here, what do you think they should do? They should try to manufacture that run. Do you think they will? Probably not.
Not with the contact at Alejandro Kirk, even though he's a double play candidate.
Huge double play candidate.
The 3-0. A low strike called on Bichette. He thought it was ball 4. He was reaching down for the Velcro on the protective guard over his left shin. Borderline pitch, but it looked good. Heat at 99. 3-1. Drilled up the right field line, foul. A sellout crowd in unison. Let's go, Bo. Payoff. Outside, ball 4. The go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th is at first. Alejandro Kirk strolls in. Kirk's 1 for 3 today. Fairbanks deals. High and away with a fastball at 99. Nobody out. Bichette's a good lead at first. 1-0. Kirk takes a strike with the slider, nipping the top bar of the zone. Fairbanks ready. The 1-1. Kirk fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alejandro lifetime 0 for 3 against Pete Fairbanks. No bigger matchup for the Blue Jay backstop than the one that he's got today. Move towards first, and Bo falls back to the bag. Wasn't a clean grab by Paredes, the first baseman. Fairbanks discards the baseball, wants a new one. Everybody resets. Outfield lined up straight away. The infield back. Wall shades towards the middle. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 in the air up the right side. That'll bend out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Alejandro Kirk. Working on Fairbanks, who issued a leadoff walk to Bichette here in the 8th.
And I ask this question again: nervous energy or excited energy?
I think this is nervous energy in the ballpark right now.
Oh, yeah. You can feel it, that's for sure.
A nervousness that's waiting to just explode with delight. The 2-2. Kirk fouls another one back. That's a triple-digit heater from Pete Fairbanks. Tyler Heineman with a helmet in hand and the oven mitt already on. A candidate to pinch run if Kirk gets aboard. Cam Eden's got his legs stretched out too. He had 53 swipes down in AAA Buffalo. Runner at first. The 2-2. Swinging a ground ball down to third. Picked up by Caminero to second for 1. Meade with the pivot onto first. In time with a double play. The Blue Jays did not want to roll into a disaster scenario like that. And it was tailor-made. 5-4-3 all the way around the horn. And the finish wasn't close.
And again, I understand if John Schneider or whoever doesn't like small ball. I understand that. But at worst, just put on a hit and run, because then you get a guy on second and you stay out of the double play exactly like that, and the inning is essentially over now.
Kevin Kiermaier bats. Fastball in there for a called strike from his former teammate. The Blue Jays have hit into more double plays than anybody in the American League. That's a costly one. We're tied at 4 here in the 8th. The 0-1. Swinging a ground ball through the hole. Base hit right field. The go-ahead run is back at first. Now with 2 down. Matt Chapman is coming up. Chapman had a big day at the plate yesterday for Toronto, going 2 for 4 and launching his 17th of the season. Today, he's 0 for 3 with a hard line out to right. The pitch is low, ball 1. Inside, Kiermaier with the bluff away from first base. Got the attention of Bethancourt, had the pump fake down to first, but didn't make the throw. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
And I like that by Kevin Kiermaier and the Blue Jays. You have to put the runner in motion. You have to try to get something done here.
2-0, now a throw over. In the 8th, 2 out. Kiermaier with the go-ahead run at first. Leans on his knees. Now readies. The 2-0. Chapman fouls it back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Chapman Homered on Thursday against the Yankees, homered last night against the Rays. Both times pitchers making mistakes with fastballs low in the zone. The 2-1. Swinging a high fly ball, left center field. Margot and Arozarena into the alley. Margot collides with Arozarena as they bump hips. Margot hangs on with the play. That's out number 3 as Chapman's retired and the Blue Jays are turned away scoreless. And we'll go to the 9th, tied 4-4. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
All right, everyone, step up and down. Left foot, right foot, you're climbing up a trail. Now back in your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and getting active in the real world. Work those abs, driving right through the mud and left and right. Keep that core engaged and bend at the knees as you load more to your Subaru. Windows down, take in that outdoor air and park.
Get more value out of every kilometer at your local Subaru dealer, starting with award-winning safety.
At Real Canadian Superstore, this week, get a 5 to 7 kilo frozen turkey for only $24. Perfect for keeping your wallet stuffed this Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Offer ends October 4th, only at Real Canadian Superstore.
Mark's store-wide sale is on now. Take an extra 25% off store-wide for 3 days only. This Thursday to Saturday, take 25% off regular, sale, and clearance prices. Visit Mark's and Marks.com for our store-wide sale on now. Door crasher prices as marked.
A great public education can open doors.
But with the government cutting $1,200 in funding for every student, those doors can close.
Not enough one-on-one time.
Not enough supports for special needs.
And 95% of schools without enough mental health support when kids need it most.
Tell Doug Ford to stop the cuts and make sure our public schools...
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Valley Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day, stretch the weekend, haul or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours. Shop F-Series at your local Ford dealer. Claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
Insulation and sealing systems. Certainteed Pro all the way. Tied at 4, top of the order, Junior Caminero, the rookie, faces Hicks. Right-hander's pitch. Swinging a hard ground ball past the reach of Chapman into left field, a base hit. And a leadoff single. The Rays have decent wheels at first base, representing the go-ahead run.
And that's just unlucky for Jordan Hicks. That was a good fastball, sinking 98-mile-an-hour fastball down in the zone. And that ball was just beat into the ground by Caminero and just out of the reach of Chapman at third base. Unlucky for the Blue Jays.
Randy Arozarena at the plate. He's been aboard twice and scored each time he's been on. We're tied at 4. Hicks deals. Fastball called inside for ball 1. Arozarena is always a defensive adventure out in left field, but he and Margot nearly played the Blue Jays in front after clipping each other on a fly ball that was very routine in left center. 1-0. Popped up back of the shortstop. Bichette, a couple of strides into the turf, makes the play, and there's one down. In the 9th for Toronto, Whit Merrifield, Dalton Varsho, and George Springer are scheduled to come up. Brandon Belt not in the starting lineup today. Might be an option for John Schneider if he wants the veteran left-handed hitter for the veteran right-handed hitter in the 9th. Here's Harold Ramirez, who swings through a fastball at 99 miles an hour for strike 1. Ramirez has had a massive day at the plate, going 3 for 4, scoring twice, and tying this game with a 2-run home run back in the 5th. Oh, 1 from Hicks. Swing and a miss. That's a tardy trigger pull. Went past the slider. Put himself in the hole. 0-2.
And I love that Jordan Hicks has essentially put that sweeper, slider, whatever you want to call it, in his back pocket. He's just a one-trick pony at this point with that 100-mile-an-hour sinker.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Well, he pulled it out at the right time. He got Ramirez to flail, and there are 2 away.
And just like that, he makes me look silly by throwing the sweeper to Harold Ramirez. And I'm sure Harold Ramirez looked at the scouting report and said he's essentially a one-pitch pitcher now. What a great time to pull that sweeper out of his back pocket.
Go-ahead run stands at first base for the Rays. We're tied 4-4 in the 9th. There's Isaac Paredes. With a check swing foul that bails him out as it dribbles through foul territory on the third base side.
Is there anybody in baseball that makes hitters look silly or sillier on just a fastball?
Revved up, you have to be prepared for 102 miles an hour with a lot of movement on it. And Paredes turned himself into a defensive, offensive player. The 0-1. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. A 4-4 game. Runner at first. The 1-1. Paredes pulls it towards third. That hugs the line. A fair ball picked up by Chapman. A throw to first, and that's in time to get the out. Paredes is still in the batter's box. I don't know if he thought that ball hit him. Kevin Cash comes up with his palms in the air to chat with the home plate umpire, who's shaking his head side to side. Alfonso Marquez said that ball did not hit him, and Paredes is left stunned in the batter's box. We'll see the replay on Sportsnet TV whether or not that clipped his toe. Paredes was adamant that ball hit him on the toe and should be a foul ball.
If I'm being honest, it kind of looked like it got his toe. And I don't think he would be standing there like that if he didn't feel like it hit his toe.
We got to go to break. It's a 4-4 game. Bottom of the 9th is next. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
With the price of a new vehicle, I'm not buying one anytime soon.
Have you decided to keep your vehicle longer? With rising prices and reduced inventory, you're not the only one. Crown is here to help. Our annual rust protection program will keep your vehicle looking great and lasting longer. And it doesn't cost much more than a tank of gas these days. So come on over to your local Crown Center today and protect your vehicle, your investment from rust. Crown. Protect, maintain, save.
So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
It's like Christmas all year with Santi.
Santiago Espinal delivers in the biggest spot.
Santiago Espinal is on your Toronto Blue Jays on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Adley with you down at the Rogers Center. Jays Rays tied at 4, heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. A reminder that Jays Talk follows every single game. Blair and Barker have the post-game show today. They are both here at the Rogers Center. There's a lot to talk about, win or lose. The usage of the bullpen, Romano in a tie game, the offense, the big day from Dalton Varsho. Get to it all with Blair and Barker on Jays Talk. Jays and Rays are tied at 4, heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's get you back to the action. Here's Ben Wagner and Chris LaRue.
Well, Brandon Belt on Thursday night told Rogers Center with his walk-off interview with Hazel May that he wanted this building loud. Belt wants noise, and he's going to get it over his shoulders right now from a packed house at Rogers Center. Belt will pinch hit for Whit Merrifield as the Blue Jays stroll to the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's a 4-4 game. They just put a sign that said Belt wants noise, and everybody erupted. Chris Davinsky aboard. The pitch to Belt. Swing and a foul off to the left for strike 1. This pitching change brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Belt's homered on consecutive games. Thursday against New York, Friday against Tampa Bay. He'll take from Davinsky high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Ben, we got exactly what you wanted. A stressful, nail-biting, clinching game.
A 4-4 score after the Blue Jays lost a 4-2 lead on the Harold Ramirez home run. Belt swings and he fouls it over the Blue Jay dugout, and it's 1-2. The Blue Jays wanted to control their own destiny going into play today. A win and the conversation is over. The Blue Jays know that they have a date in the American League wild card. The destination still TBD, but they know they play on Tuesday. Belt takes down and away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. If the Blue Jays lose, a lot in question. 2-2. Hit hard but foul behind Mark Budzinski, the first base coach. It stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Every possible scenario is rolled out for the Blue Jays, potentially watching the rest of the night and then coming to the ballpark for game 162 tomorrow afternoon. The 2-2. Belt is down on strikes. Went after an elevated fastball, couldn't get to it. 1 away.
And I probably haven't said that all that often this year, but if there's one guy that I wanted to play right now, it's Dalton Varsho.
Varsho's had quite the turnaround in this past week. Despite going hitless last night, he has rallied for 2 huge base hits today. A 2-run single in the 4th inning and a solo home run in the 3rd. The pitch. Down and away from Davinsky for ball 1. Right-handed reliever against the left-handed swing, Dalton Varsho. And his 20th home run of the season back in the 4th inning. The 1-0. Down and away. 2 balls and no strikes with Davinsky offering up changeups that missed down and away.
And I know it's really difficult for these guys to not have that big fly in their mind. Everybody wants to hit the homer.
2-0 is outside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
But you have to stay within yourself, keep the line moving, just get to first base. That's what should be in Dalton Varsho's mind right now.
Next in line, top of the order, and George Springer. 3-0. Green light, swing and a miss. Went over the top of the changeup.
I like that green light, but he really pulled his shoulder out. You could tell what he wanted to do with that pitch.
Tied at 4, bottom of the 9th. 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and nothing straight to Dalton Varsho. Varsho asks for time. 1 run will win it. 3-2 on a comebacker. Davinsky has it. Time to feed the first baseman. Paredes is there, and there are 2 out. And here comes George Springer. He bats in the 9th. The pitch. Fouled away at the plate. Another changeup, righty on righty from Davinsky.
And another big swing. It's pretty clear what every guy wants to do. They want to hit that big home run. They want to run around the bases. They want to do all of that in a clinching game. It's so difficult to stay within yourself and just take that ball the other way. There's a huge hole in right field. Huge hole.
The 0-1 ripped up the left field line, down for a base hit, going all the way to the wall. Springer can trot into second base with the winning run. The Blue Jays have the winning run at second base with George Springer. And this is really interesting. When the Blue Jays reset their batting order, Bo Bichette was taken out of that number 2 spot. And here comes that second hole. And the new guy, Brandon Belt, had it the last couple of nights. Cavan Biggio gets it today against the Rays. Winning run at second. Biggio takes a strike with a changeup.
The thing I like about Cavan Biggio up right now is he is the one guy in this lineup that will stay within himself and not try to do too much.
This month of September has been made for Cavan. He takes a fastball inside, and it's 1-1.
And you can see it. He took that pitch like it was nothing. Like there's no flinch, there's no nothing. If it's not in his zone, he's not swinging.
Winning run at second. 1-1 in the dirt. Good stop by Bethencourt behind the plate. No advance by Springer. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Biggio. So much has been asked and challenged of Cavan Biggio over the last couple of months, and he's answered the bell in every facet. The 2-1. Over for a called strike, and it's 2-2. Can Biggio deliver one more time for the Blue Jays? Winning run at second. The 2-2. Low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. First base is open, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is on deck. Time called by Biggio at the plate. Rogers Center feels like it should at this time of the season. 3-2. Swinging a line drive into right field. Low on the move. He's there to make the catch and retire this side. Running off near the line. It was sharp contact by Biggio, but it hung up long enough for the right field to run it down, and Springer in the winning run stranded in scoring position. To the 10th we go, tied at 4. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, and I know a foul when I see one. And there's nothing more foul than rising interest rates. So when I'm not calling the ball game, I'm calling Pizza Pizza for a hot and fresh fixed-rate pizza. An extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99 until the end of 2023. So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
Order pizzapizza.ca. Springer dingers, and Springer sprints into the gaps to steal hits.
And he makes the catch!
Yeah, that'll play with the Blue Jays on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Adley with you down at the Rogers Center. Jays Rays tied at 4, heading to the top of the 10th. Extras here in game 161. Quick check of that St. Louis Bar and Grill.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Back to the action here at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Wagner and Chris LaRue.
Joe, thank you so much. Kevin Cash is going to use his bench. Oslevis Bazabe will take over as the automatic runner as we move into the 10th at second base. And Jonathan Aranda will pinch hit. Aranda pinch hitting for Curtis Mead. Isak Paredes no longer in the lineup as well. He was the automatic runner lined up. So Bazabe's the go-ahead run here in the 10th. And Aranda lines one left center field, backing up Kiermaier, leaps into the air and tracks it down. Crashes into the wall, reeling in the deep drive to left center field. Kevin Kiermaier continues to give and give and give for this Blue Jays outfield. full sprint, peek at the wall, leaping into the air, one stride away from the video board, makes the catch, absorbs contact, one down.
And he is pumped up out there, getting the crowd going, fist pumping. You can tell just how badly he wants this game.
Josh Lowe, the batter. And four fingers have been flashed from the Blue Jay dugout. They will intentionally walk low. This could set up a double play. And it also rids the Blue Jays are facing a dangerous Ray Bat.
And looking ahead to the Blue Jays half of the 10th, you have Vladimir Guerrero and Bo Bichette coming up to the plate.
Vladdy will lead it off. Bo Bichette bats second, then Alejandro Kirk. Time called by Pete Walker. He jogs out to the mound. He'll visit with the entire infield. Low, a left-handed batter. Intentionally walked. Manuel Margot coming up. Raimel Tapia looks like he's going to pinch hit. And he will pinch hit for Manuel Margot. Tapia, Blue Jay a season ago. Claimed off waivers as the roster started to deplete down the stretch for Tampa Bay with the injuries mounting up. Season that's been in Boston, Milwaukee, and now in St. Petersburg. 4-4 game. We're in the 10th. The pitch. Fastball down and in. Ball one. Bazabe, the runner at second. Low behind him at first. Middle of the diamond, looking for two. The 1-0, swing and a miss. One ball and one strike. When Brandon Belt pinch hit for Whit Merrifield, the counter move defensively is Santiago Espinal, now at second. Hicks in the 1-1. That's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Longtime Colorado Rocky Raimel Tapia was swapped for Randall Grichuk in front of the Blue Jays 2022 campaign. 2-1. Down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Only 1 out of the inning. You don't want that go-ahead run standing at third with fewer than 2 outs. Hicks with a peek back at second. And the 3-1 inbound. Swing and a miss. 101 miles an hour on the sinker from Jordan Hicks. First and second. 1 out. Tied at 4. The pitch. Fouled away off to the left. Three balls and 2 strikes. The payoff. Tapia takes low, ball 4. Bazabe with outstanding speed stands at third. Low moves up to second. And now Tapia, who can still run, on at first. Automatic runner, an intentional pass, and now a walk. Rays have the bases loaded. It's somebody chasing a batting title is going to pinch hit for Christian Bethancourt and Yandy Diaz, who started this day 1 percentage point away from Corey Seager in the race to win the batting crown in the American League. Yandy Diaz went 2 for 2 last night and grabbed a walk and brings a .330 average to the plate. And he crushed his 22nd home run of the season last night, a 2-run home run. Bases loaded for the Rays. Hicks deals. And Diaz takes a 100-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner.
And keep in mind, Yandy Diaz is a great hitter, but he is a double play candidate. Jordan Hicks needs to keep that fastball down and induce a ground ball here.
Action in the bullpen behind Hicks. The 0-1. A fastball called strike. A little bit of a generous call for Jordan Hicks, but the Blue Jays will take it. Chad Green loosens behind Hicks in the bullpen for Toronto. Hicks trying to make it happen here. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball. A monumental strikeout for the Blue Jay right-hander. A couple of times he reaches a little deeper into the bag of tricks. He's pulled out the sweeper twice.
And just when you think he doesn't throw one, he throws that nasty one.
Bases loaded for Walls. Switch hitter at the plate. Takes a fastball downstairs, ball 1. In the 10th, tied at 4. Hicks trying to keep this game tied and get the Blue Jays to the plate. Wall swings and he loops one into right center field, down for a base hit. In to score Bazabe. Right behind him is Lowe. 2 runs are in on the Taylor Walls 2-run single in the 10th. And the Rays have staked a 6-4 lead in the extra inning. It didn't take much. It had just enough to get over the head of Espinal and in front of Springer and Kiermaier in right center field. Two-run base hit, 6-4 Tampa Bay. Tapia the runner at third. Walls delivers. He's at first for Junior Caminero, who fouls the first pitch away to the right for strike 1. Not only just 1 run, but now a 2-run lead for the Rays. That makes the climb in extra innings for the Blue Jays 3 runs to win it. 0-1 to Caminero. Sweeper outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Fouled away at the plate, and it's 1-2. First and third, 2 out. The 1-2. Ground ball, left side. Tough play for Chapman. In between hop. Throw to first, not in time. And another Ray run is in. Tapia scores, and it's 7-4 Rays. Tough play for Chapman. Long bounces developing in that play. Chapman made a strong, accurate throw. But one of the tools for Junior Caminero, the top Ray prospect, on display, beating the bang-bang play at first base.
And more tough luck for Jordan Hicks. A good pitch down in the zone. Caminero barely made contact. A slow roller to Matt Chapman, and he just beats it out.
Runners at first and second. Randy Arozarena at the plate. Jackknifes out of the way. Takes ball 1. (7-4) Tampa Bay. The 1-0. That's low. 2 balls and no strikes. All that nervous energy completely quelled here at Rogers Center now. The 2-0. Slider low. 3 balls and no strikes. Blue Jays and Rays both have pitching decisions to make going into 162. The Rays have the bigger quandary. The Blue Jays The last Kevin Gausman to pitch on Sunday. 3-0. That's over for a called strike. Blue Jays, by all intents and purposes, wanted to avoid Kevin Gausman leaving this ballpark with an assignment tomorrow. The only thing they wanted Kevin Gausman to do tonight was party with his teammates and give him the day off tomorrow and line him up for Game 1 of the American League wild card. If Gausman takes the start after a Blue Jay setback, everything is on the line for Toronto tomorrow afternoon.
Unless Seattle loses.
Unless Seattle loses. Pitch. On the outside corner on Arozarena. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Which that's going to happen in about an hour and 15 minutes. Luis Castillo starts tonight for Seattle against Andrew Heaney and the Rangers. 3-2. Runners going and pitch is fouled away. The Blue Jays could back in, erasing their magic number with a loss and a Mariners win. Runners at first and second ready. 3-2 to Arozarena. Ground ball in the middle of the diamond, flagged by Espinal, runs it to the second base bag to retire the Rays, who come up with 3 runs in the 10th. It's Tampa Bay 7 and Toronto 4. This is Blue Jays baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming through the new Sportsnet app and over the Sportsnet radio network.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, and I know a foul when I see one. And there's nothing more foul than rising interest rates. So when I'm not calling the ball game, I'm calling Pizza Pizza for a hot and fresh fixed-rate pizza. An extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99 until the end of 2023. So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
Order pizzapizza.ca. Hey, this is Matt Chapman. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet radio network.
Don't you open up that window.
Welcome back to Blue Jays baseball. Show Adley with you down at the Rogers Center. Jays trail the Rays 7-4, heading to the bottom of the 10th. A reminder that Jays Stock follows every single game. Blair and Barker have the post-game show tonight. They're both here in the booth at the Dome. There's a lot to discuss, I am sure. Romano in the tie game. Jordan Hick, bottom of the 10th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. strolling into the batter's box. Let's get you back to the action. Here's Ben Wagner and Chris LaRue.
Joe, thank you so much. Blue Jays have some work to do here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Their automatic runner will be Kevin Biggio at second and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. coming up. Now, Vladdy asks for time, and he gestures off towards right field. They're going with the Ray changes, and Vladdy gets a first pitch strike from Chris Davinsky, who stayed aboard. Rene Pinto is behind the plate for Christian Bethancourt, who was pinch hit for him. 0-1, swing and a miss. Jonathan Aranda is the new first baseman. Slavis Bazabe is at second. And when Manuel Margot was pinch hit for, Nathaniel Lowe, or Josh Lowe, pardon me, his brother's Nathaniel. Josh Lowe moved over to center for Raimel Tapia, who's now in right. Pitch down and away on Guerrero. Blue Jays trailing 7-4. Davinsky's 1-2. Hit high in the air, but playable. Left center field. In Arozarena, calling, and he catches. One down. Here comes Bo Bichette. 4 hits in the cleanup spot last night. 0 for 3 with a walk today. Did line out hard his first time up to right. The pitch. That's outside. Ball 1. (1-0). Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays and Rays tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, with the play-by-play story and a full day of coverage. 1-1 to Bichette, a hard line drive out to left field. Arozarena reaches out, he can't get it. It's over his head. Here comes Biggio to score in from second, and the Blue Jays have tallied up here in the 10th. It's now 7-5.
And again, now that the tying run is coming to the plate, it's really hard for these guys not to think about hitting a home run. You have to put that in your back pocket and just keep the line moving. Get to first base. You can walk, you can do whatever, but just keep the line moving. Do not try to hit a home run.
Down 2. Kirk swings at the first pitch, and it's popped up near the line on the left side of the diamond. Underneath it, Caminero makes the play, and there are 2 away. Kevin Kiermaier tries to keep the Blue Jays alive against his former club. 7-5 Rays here in the 10th. Kiermaier's 1 for 3 with a walk. Swings and fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. A Blue Jays loss here tonight certainly makes things uneasy, but they still have life. They'll watch the out-of-town scoreboard later on. 0-1's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Everybody will be watching the Rangers and the Mariners later on. 1-1. Ground ball out to second, down to a knee. Bazabe's got it, throws to first to finish the ball game as the Rays tally 3 runs in the top of the 10th inning and hold on for a 7-5 win here on this Saturday afternoon at Rogers Center. And now the waiting game continues for the Blue Jays. They have to be observers with control out of their control when it comes to the postseason. A Mariners loss will back the Blue Jays in later on tonight, or it all comes down to game 162 tomorrow, beginning at 3 o'clock in game 3 of this 3-game series.
You can feel how uneasy everybody in this stadium is right now. They know that now they have to go home. They have to rely on a loss from Seattle to clinch that playoff spot. I know it's unexciting. I know that everybody wanted to celebrate with this team today after the game, but there are still a lot of ways this Blue Jays team can get into the playoffs. We just have to wait now.
A really, really tough loss, and the biggest gut punch of the day, Harold Ramirez in his game-tying 2-run home run earlier in this one that reset the score after the Blue Jays had taken a 3-run rally and a 4-2 lead over the Rays. In the end, 7-5 Tampa Bay evens up this series with the Blue Jays forcing a rubber match in an all too important game 162 coming up. We'll take you through the totals. We'll have our play of the game, and we'll let you stew on this one with Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker. Blue Jays talk is coming up in just a couple of moments. Once again, your final score here at Rogers Center: the Rays 7, the Blue Jays 5. This is Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by Crown Rust Protection, streaming at sportsnet.ca and over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center. Center.
Hi, I'm Buck Martinez, and I know a foul when I see one. And there's nothing more foul than rising interest rates. So when I'm not calling the ball game, I'm calling Pizza Pizza for a hot and fresh fixed-rate pizza. An extra-large 4-topping pizza for a fixed price of $16.99 until the end of 2023. So when inflation throws you a curveball, at least your pizza price won't. That's what I call a swing and a drive. Lock in today at fixedratepizza.ca.
Get ready for a show with Dalton Varsho.
Varsho streaking on, makes the diving catch.
On your Toronto Blue Jays on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Season finale coming up tomorrow afternoon. Everybody in the big leagues gets started at the same time. 3:07 first pitch, and it's all likely that Kevin Gausman will be on the hill tomorrow for the Blue Jays. The Rays and Kevin Cash will announce their starter in the coming moments.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss the excitement this winter at Purcell Pavilion and Compton Family Ice Arena. Season tickets are on sale now for Notre Dame hockey, men's and women's basketball games for the 2023-24 season. Also, don't miss Notre Dame football's regular season finale against Wake Forest on Saturday, November 18th. It's the last opportunity to catch the Irish at home inside Notre Dame Stadium this season. Tickets to all Fighting Irish home contests are available at fightingirish.com/buy tickets.
Number sitting idle at 1 after a 7-5 loss here tonight. With the win, the Rays are now 98-63 on the season. The Blue Jays at 89-72. Tampa Bay, 7 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error. The Rays at the plate today strand at 11 and go 5 for 16 with runners in scoring position. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Blue Jays, who left on 8 and went 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Bullpen day for Tampa Bay. Chris Davinsky, he'll vulture the victory in extra innings. He's 6-4 after he fired 2 frames of 1-run ball. Jordan Hicks takes the loss on a day that featured many relievers for the Blue Jays, 6 of them in all. The 7th pitcher was Hyunjin Ryu, who got hit hard over his 3 innings. 7 hits, so half of them off the starter, who only allowed 2 runs. It could have gone a lot different for Hyunjin Ryu, but some timely plays behind him limited the damage. Trevor Richard, Genesis Cabrera, Eric Swanson, Jimmy Garcia, Jordan Romano, and then to Jordan Hicks for the final 2 frames, the 9th and the 10th. Flip-flop from Hicks to Romano. Romano had the 8th, 9th and the 10th belonged to Jordan Hicks, who allowed the decisive runs. He's 3-9 on the season. Davinsky is 6-4. This ball game spanned 2 hours and 55 minutes. It was at time an electrifying crowd, very nervous towards the tail end, and then deflated as they stroll up the aisles. 42,097 at the ballpark saw the Rays get past the Blue Jays 7-5 here today. Time now for our Bet365 play of the game. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or game outcomes across many different sports. 18 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Tampa Bay got a run in the first inning on an RBI base hit from Isaac Paredes. Went in front 2-0 with an RBI double from Josh Lowe. The Blue Jays scratched for their first run of the night. Dalton Varsho with his 2nd home run in 3 games and his 20th of the season. Gave the Blue Jays some life in the 3rd inning, and they trailed 2-1. Into the bottom of the 4th inning, Toronto took advantage of a defensive miscue that could have perhaps been an inning-ending double play, but Dalton Varsho, after the error was committed, drove home 2 with an RBI single. George Springer had an RBI base hit. The Blue Jays had a 4-2 lead. Carried that into the 5th inning until the former Blue Jay farmhand and Harold Ramirez connected with his 12th of the year. His 3rd and final hit of the day tied the game 4-4. And that's the way that it stood from the 5th inning on, all the way until the 10th. With the automatic runners in place, the number 9 hitter batting on the left side, Taylor Walls, had an opportunity to connect for Tampa Bay and change the game. Wall swings and he loops one into right center field, down for a base hit. In to score Bazabe. Right behind him is Lowe. 2 runs are in on the Taylor Walls 2-run single in the 10th. And the Rays have staked a 6-4 lead in the extra inning. It didn't take much. It had just enough to get over the head of Espinal and in front of Springer and Kiermaier in right center field.
and Jordan Hicks pitching in a spot that Jordan Romano normally would be pitching in. Jordan Romano, of course, pitched that 8th inning, a clean 8th inning. Jordan Hicks made a good pitch, and Taylor Walls just dumped it into right field. It's as simple as that. A lot of luck involved in what happened in that 10th inning for the Tampa Bay Rays. The next hit by Caminero, another unlucky hit, a soft contact play to third base. They ended up scoring that 3rd run. Look, we wanted the Jays to win today. We wanted to watch that celebration. It's not going to happen. We have to wait. That's just the way baseball is. We have to go home. You have to go home and watch the Seattle Mariners play. Unfortunately, you don't get a night off from baseball. But look, it was a great game. It was an exciting game, and unfortunately the Jays didn't come out on top, but there's always tomorrow. And if the Seattle Mariners lose, Kevin Gausman will not pitch tomorrow.
That's right. He sits idle for the next couple of hours, waiting on the finale out of the Pacific Northwest with the Mariners and the Rangers. Rangers will have Andrew Heaney on the hill. Made an appearance out of the bullpen his last time out and has been a little clunky down the stretch. Luis Castillo trying to preserve the Mariners season with a win tonight. Hopefully we'll bring you some good news tomorrow on the pregame show when we arrive at Rogers Center here in downtown Toronto. We've got plenty of coverage, though, coming up in just a couple of moments with Jet Blair and Kevin Barker. They will take your calls. They will read the text line as well. Blue Jays Talk is coming up in a moment. We remind you that it's a special first pitch tomorrow, 3:07 with the first pitch fired here at Rogers Center. This copyrighted broadcast has been presented by the authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Everybody was on hand here today. 2-hour pregame coverage with Show Ali and Ben Schulman. Guys behind the scenes back at Baseball Control today. Armin Zargarian, Connor Lamont, the great Tom Young as well. For Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Wagner. Now we involve you with this edition of Blue Jays Talk with Jet Blair and Kevin Barker. They begin right now.
Allow them to back into the wild card. If that doesn't happen, if Seattle does win, then tomorrow's game is not only winner take all for the Blue Jays, but it also opens the possibility of the dreaded 4-way tie. And in that case, the odds don't favor the Blue Jays. 7-5, Blue Jays lost to the Tampa Bay Rays this afternoon at the Rogers Center. Kevin, obviously, a lot of the focus is going to be on John Schneider's use of the bullpen. We will await to hear the Blue Jays manager, Jordan Romano, used in the 8th inning, not the 9th inning, used in the 8th inning for 1 inning, the bottom of the order. Jordan Hicks was given charge at the top of the Rays order in the 9th and 10th innings. The 10th inning, of course, the Rays scoring, putting it away with runs in the extra frame.
Yeah, look, I talked to John today on the field. He told me he was going to do what he had to do to win the game. That's, he's going matchups there. It made perfect sense. Is it an odd look? Absolutely. You're not used to seeing Jordan Romano run out of the bullpen in the 8th inning, but with the way
Unless
Jordan
it's for 2 innings.
Well, it seems to me like they wanted Jordan Hicks to go 2 innings other than Jordan Romano, and the part of the order that was rolling around the 9th inning's been pretty hard on Jordan. Like that for me is, anyway, I mean, we haven't heard from John, but I mean, you can use a little common sense and think that the top of the order, has had some pretty good swings and some pretty good looks at Jordan. Romano, you would like to have somebody else in there that might throw a little bit harder and have a little bit more movement, and maybe it had a little bit more success against that part of the order. So yeah, I mean, it made perfect sense. That's you're trying to win a game. You're not trying to help guys' feelings, and I'm sure they were used to that. I'm sure they were prepared for it. The way Pete Walker is and John Snyder, they're very good at communicating. You be ready from about the 5th inning on. If we have to use you, we're going to use you, no matter what the inning is. So, yeah, it just didn't work out. They couldn't get the big hit. I mean, they had their chance in the 9th inning with Biggio up, and that's why it's a game of inches. It was a really good game. Would you like to see Kevin Gausman pitching on Tuesday? Absolutely. But you feel pretty good if he has to pitch tomorrow because your best guy's going, and the offense does look better. Like they're having better at-bats, they're having better swings, so, you can hang your hat on that. And if you're just a baseball fan, forget about being a Blue Jays fan. This is wonderful. Like, this is
I'd rather
this is what you
tonight.
signed
That's
up.
not wonderful. I'd rather they clinch tonight.
I didn't say a Jays fan. I said a baseball fan. If you're a baseball fan, you love this.
No, you rather have
now
your
you
team
get to
in
watch
the playoffs.
Castillo pitch, and you might get to watch Kirby tomorrow night pitch. I mean, or tomorrow afternoon for Seattle. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, this is what you want as a baseball fan. At least I do. So don't look at me like that.
No, I'd rather have the team in the playoffs. 416-870.
You're talking to all the Blue Jays fans.
Yes, I am. 416-870-0590, star 591, 888-666-0590. The last time Jordan Romano faced the Rays was, of course, that game where, Jordan Romano blew it. The Rays went on to win the game 7-6. In that game, as my friend Mr. Barker pointed out, started with the Yandy Diaz double. Yandy Diaz wasn't in the lineup tonight, but he was on the bench. He was clearly available, and indeed he did pinch hit. Diaz, Ramirez, Meade, Paredes, Caminero, and Lowe all really tied into Jordan Romano in that inning when it came apart for Jordan Romano. And that really, I think that was an inning that kind of shook folks' faith in Jordan Romano. And in this game today, he would have been facing largely the same guys. It would have been Caminero, Rosarena, Ramirez, Paredes. So I think John Schneider probably just looked at that and said, Jordan Romano, it's basically what have you done for me lately? And which guy, the same reason you're moving dudes around in the order, right? The same reason you're trying to get the guys who are hitting more at bats is, the same thing applies to the bullpen.
Yeah, this has nothing.
It didn't work.
This has nothing to do with who's the closer. This has to do with who can get the guy out when it matters the most. And if you need to go 2 innings, who do you feel more comfortable? Because maybe he's got the extra couple of days rest and can give you the 2 innings. So yeah, this is common sense. Like, this has nothing to do with, this guy's the closer, that guy's not the closer. This got to do with that. The top of the order's coming up. The last time our closer didn't have the very good outing. I want to throw somebody else in there and give them a different look. And, that part of it worked out. What he did gave him a chance in the 9th inning to have the big at-bat, have the big hit. Just didn't work out.
Well, John Schneider was managing to not have to use Kevin Gossman.
There you go. That's the whole point.
That was the whole point of this.
Yeah.
And, as Kevin points out, there were a couple of offensive opportunities here that went by the wayside. The 9th inning was an opportunity. The 8th inning, Bo reaches on a walk and shock. Alejandro Kirk gets into a double play. It's.
I'm still really. Can you explain something to me? How the heck does Brandon Belt pinch hit and not play? I get it. I know he's old. I know he's played 4 days in a row. I know he just, he missed 15 days on the IL. But how do you pinch hit and not play? That part of it doesn't make any sense to me. If the high performance department has to get involved and say, he can't play 5 days in a row. Okay, he can't play 5 days in a row. But to say, in the 8th or 9th inning, you're going to pinch hit him after he sat over there for 3 hours just doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because it makes their lineup longer when he's in the game, and it just makes a ton of sense to have him out there, and then you pinch hit for him, and then it makes – anyway, for me, when I was watching that, I shouldn't be surprised. But
it was a.
They know their team better than we do.
No, it was a shock. Not a shock, but a surprise. Brandon Belt came out of last night's game, and apparently his back acted up on him, and he was not in the lineup today. But you're right; he was good enough to pinch hit, and we've had this discussion time and time again.
See, I was told
I got this thing. If you can pinch it, you can play.
See, I was told nothing was wrong with his back last night. I was just told that they were winning big. They wanted to get somebody else in there, get him off his feet. Multiple people had conversations walking by, asking, "Are you okay?" And he smiled and gave you the thumbs up. So yeah, this is more. Again, I'm not saying that's the reason why they lost, but the last couple of days, has their lineup not looked better with the way it was the last couple of days other than today?
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because we're starting
to
to see some life out of this lineup.
No question.
They're still playing pretty good defense. Like, all the things you like to see out of this team. all the things you think that are going to stand you in good stead if you go to the postseason. And today, your starting pitching, Hyunjin Ryu, was not good. If it's me, I talked to Ben and Shai in the press box before. We were saying the same thing. If it's me, I might rather have seen Bowden Francis out there today than Hyunjin Ryu, based on how this team has hit Ryu. Ryu didn't come through for them today. They needed certainly more than 3 innings out of Ryu. They didn't get it. That forced them to go to the bullpen. Trevor Richards has been awfully good most of this year. He's not been the same dude since he's come off the IL. Trevor Richards comes in the game, gives up the home run. And then, further to your point, the Jays had a couple of opportunities. They just couldn't put it away. And then Jordan Hicks in the second inning, that hit was, I don't know if you call it a bloop, but
hit's a hit.
That kind of opened the doors.
Yeah.
Rays.
It's sort of against good teams, against teams that have 98 wins. You got to make quality pitches. When you don't, they make you pay for it, and that's sort of what happened today.
Eddie from Barrie, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
How's it going, guys?
Well, Barker's happy with the excitement. I'd rather have the team in the playoffs. That's just me.
Anyways, I just a couple questions. First of all, do you think George Springer has that fly ball in right field, the one that Biggio I thought he pulled up on it a little bit. Do you think George Springer makes that catch?
I don't know. I think George plays pretty shallow.
Yeah.
That's a tough play. I mean, Cavan's a pretty good outfielder. He runs good routes. He gets good jumps. I'm going to say no to that.
Okay, my second question is, can you explain the four-way tie? I thought for sure that we had the tiebreaker against Houston. Why is it all on Seattle tonight to lose?
Well, no. Here's the thing: the tiebreakers are records between the teams in head-to-head games. Texas holds a better record against the Jays in head-to-head games. Seattle has a better record against the Jays in head-to-head games. That's the first tiebreaker. The Jays have a better record against Houston. The Jays have beaten Houston more than Houston has beaten them this year. So that's why they have the tiebreaker. The second tiebreaker, then, when you get into things, is your record within your division. And I don't need to tell you that the Jays' record within their division isn't very good. So we've been focusing on Seattle because simply for the Jays to get in, one of those teams has to be eliminated. And the question is who gets eliminated first. And it's easier, frankly, for Seattle to be eliminated. And, you've also got to remember that Texas, which is playing Seattle, is playing to win a division title. So then if you get into a situation tomorrow, if Texas doesn't win the division title and it's Houston, all the games tomorrow start at 3:07, and that's kind of basically where we are. But four-way tie does not favor the Blue Jays. The four-way tie does not favor the Blue Jays. You do not want that. Easiest thing is for the Mariners to be eliminated, and then it becomes pretty straightforward from there. To me, I like this system much. I never really liked the idea of playing the extra game, the game 163, to decide a spot. I'd rather use the tiebreaker. I think the season's long enough as it is. You use the tiebreaker. You base it on. I'd rather have the final decision based on what you did in the regular season as opposed to what you do in one 9-inning game on Monday.
Yep.
Just the way I am.
Yeah.
Andrew from Toronto, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry for repeating myself here, or not repeating myself, but getting a question that you've probably gotten all year because I listen a lot. But, guys, what the hell is going on with Vlad's approach? I mean, we're in year 5 here, pretty much at the end of year 5. I wouldn't say he's a vet, but he certainly isn't a kid anymore. And, we've just seen time and time again this guy has just zero clutch factor, zero clutch gene. I've watched baseball a long time, and I understand that guys lose their timing, they lose their swing. But at this point, where he's year 5 in the big leagues here, and I just see zero mental approach, zero planning, zero thinking in between pitches. Everybody blames Guillermo Martinez, and that's a whole different story, whatever. But I'm pretty sure Guillermo could probably, walk him through an at-bat much better than Vlad is thinking through these at-bats right now. I don't know how many times we're going to see him just take pitches right down the middle and then swing at stuff that's outside in the left batter's box. So I don't know. Like, what do you guys think about this? Because I don't know if I can watch this anymore.
Well, I mean, it's been the same thing all year with Vladdy. We've talked about this a great deal. It's not going to change between tonight and tomorrow.
He looks hurt to me. Today's the first time that I've seen.
We saw him running out that ball to first base.
He's limping around at first base. I know he has the knee issue. I'm not making excuses for him. I mean, it's some of the worst bats you've seen him have all season. Sometimes, he'll go through those things where either he's looking spin, a certain location, he gets it there no matter where it's at in that location, he swings at it, right? And that his at-bats start to look like they look. He's had an up-and-down year. He hasn't had the year that everybody thinks he should have had. And, 5 years, I think that's a bit strong. Didn't he finish second in the MVP race a couple of years ago? The thing with Vladdy being, a better hitter year after year, it's went down the last couple of years. That for me is something the organization needs to take a giant look at. Does he need help around him? Does he need a better hitting coach? Do they need to, have better planning when it comes to, just everything that goes into being Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? So we'll just have to wait and see. But, I sort of agree with the caller, not with the 5-year thing, but with how bad the at-bats were today when really you need him the most. They were pretty bad.
All right, I'm going to read the tiebreaker scenarios just so I can clear it up, because I have to admit I've spent most of my time just focusing on the Mariners. If there's a 4-way tie for 3 spots, the Astros, Mariners, Rangers, and Blue Jays. If that happens, the Blue Jays are out. If all 4 of these teams finish with the same record, ties would be settled in the following order. 1, the AL West title tiebreaker between the Astros, Mariners, and Rangers, so they'd have to decide an AL West winner. The second AL wildcard berth tiebreaker between the Blue Jays and 2 remaining AL West clubs, and then the third AL wildcard berth tiebreaker between 2 remaining clubs. So